Brookstone Special. Sponsored by Glenwood School. Once a Gator, always a Gator. Here's Jonathan Hoppy.
Hello everybody and welcome out to Max Strong Stadium here at the beautiful campus of the Brookstone School in Columbus, Georgia with Ben Stanfield. I am Jonathan Hoppy. Thanks so much for joining us here for the State Line Showdown. Ben, we've got Glenwood and Brookstone, and we're watching two impressive quarterbacks here tonight.
Yeah, I think we're in for a treat tonight. We got two guys with experience and high praise from both coaches for their quarterbacks tonight. Both teams are going to try to go fast. They're going to try to run the ball a lot, so it should be a quick-moving, entertaining football game. Looking forward to it, kicking off here.
Yeah, the heat is going to be a big deal as well. Heat index over 100 degrees at the moment, and we expect it to remain hot. We talked to Ryan Nelson, the head coach of Glenwood. He tells us he expects that to be a key throughout this night is the heat and how it affects these guys. They've been out practicing in it all week for Glenwood.
Yeah, they have, and they have, I guess, had the luxury of preparation with 100-plus degrees every day this week, so you could get ready for it, but still, it's going to be very hot. It's going to be hard to stay in rhythm. The water breaks are crucial in this game. Hopefully everybody's hydrated and ready to go. We won't have any problems there, but yeah, you're right. It is very hot, and that's going to be the 12th man on the field tonight.
No doubt, and we're looking forward to a competitive game. For more on that heat, we go down to the field now. James Giles standing by with Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid. James?
Really has been leading up to this game. Fortunately, it's kind of cooling down a little bit now. The sun's going on, but we're still being extra cautious. We're going to see extra timeouts tonight for heat breaks. That's going to be at the 8-minute mark and the 4-minute mark. And this is going to give the players a chance to just kind of cool off. Derek, how hot is it right now? I mean, like I said, it's not too terrible, but I'm still sweating.
Well, we were out here earlier from 5 to 5:30 and 6 o'clock newscast. It was brutal out in the sunshine. It honestly isn't that bad right now. The sun is dipping below that tree line behind us, so it's shaded here on the field. The temperature here not bad either. And again, as of last check at the airport, 98 degrees, but around here it's probably cooler than that right now.
He is out there.
We're having some technical issues. We're going to send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Throughout this night as we get ready for this matchup. But we should note, Ben, that this is the first game of the year for Brookstone here at home. The Glenwood Gators played last week against Pacelli, and they won us 38-12.
Yeah, and quarterback play last week for Glenwood was pretty impressive. We mentioned him a moment ago. But Dallas Crow.
Check, 1, 2, check.
We saw the highlights on Sports Leader 9, and he was everywhere. He's an electric
Dallas Crow, third-year starter, second year under Ryan Nelson. He really thinks that is going to be the difference maker for Crow this year. The fact that he's now been in the same system for 2 seasons. Crow played under Jason Gibson, who is no longer with the team. Second year now under Ryan Nelson, and we are looking forward to see what Dallas Crow can do in this game. Brooks Roney on the other side for Glenwood. He is in his first season at the starter, competed for the job last year, did not win it in Reds Gillespie's first season, but he's kept fighting. And hey, now he's the guy for the Cougars.
He is the guy, and Coach Gillespie with some high praise for him this week too. He wears number 1, and Coach says, you don't just select number 1 at Brookstone. It's a big process, and they have a team meeting where everyone votes on that and decides who gets to wear number 1. They went with the quarterback this year, and that's, he says, the highest honor that the team can give him. So expected to see good things.
Yeah, looking like Cam Newton out here. At least that's what he hopes. So let's go back now to James Giles. We believe we have him now. James and Derek, down to you guys.
All right, second time's a charm. Like we were saying, the heat is the 12th man tonight. That is the big story. It is hot. It's been hot leading up to the game tonight. But, we have the good thing, we pushed it to start time back, so it's a little cooler now, But, we're going to see extra timeouts tonight just to accommodate, give the players and the coaches and all the other athletes a chance to kind of cool it down. Those will happen at the 8-minute and the 4-minute mark. And Derek, we still have the luxury that the sun is going down, but it is still pretty hot.
Yeah, the sun is dipped below that tree line. City, but it feels like to be a big factor. That right now is still above 100, but it will continue to drop as we go through the night, and it's still a breeze, so we've seen not too bad, so hopefully that's going to help these guys out here on the field tonight, and cheerleaders as well.
All right, we're certainly helping us right now. We'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
started with the invocation and setting up for the national anthem. Let's take you out to the field now for tonight's invocation here at Brookstone School.
Good. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from harm and injury. And finally, we pray for your grace, that you will provide us with the endurance to pursue our goals. In your name we pray. Amen. And now, if I could direct your attention down to the track, we have the national anthem being performed tonight by Charles McPherson under the direction of Karen Hearn. Please stand, and the flag's off to the left.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All righty, Cougar Nation, who's ready for some football? Here come the Cougars.
Kickoff.
Yeah, the Cougars coming.
All right, Cougar Nation, let's get on your feet for these Cougars. They're coming down the stairs. They're coming through the tunnel. Let's give these boys a good welcome.
Gillespie leads out the Cougars in his second season. And there's a look at it right now as they'll be greeted by the fans. They'll walk up those metal bleachers, take a hard left, and then go hit the field. They'll actually go through the student section, Ben. A pretty unusual and unique entrance for a high school football team.
I like it, though, because you get the adrenaline of seeing your friends, family members, classmates as you head out to the field. And you're right, it is a very unique entrance. You mentioned Coach Gillespie there leading the charge. He's a guy that's got some great experience coaching football. He's coached at places like Georgia Southern in the past at the college level. And really interested to see how he's cultivated this team. Had a pretty good year last year. But really interested to see him in year two. Year two is kind of the measuring point for a lot of head coaches.
And they lost to their arch rival, the Pacelli Vikings, who went on to win state last year.
Yeah.
They lost in the state semifinal. So this year they're hoping to be the best GIAA school in Columbus, make it to that state championship level. Now, let's talk about those Glenwood Gators because they are getting ready to come out as well. Glenwood is a team. They made it all the way to state last season, losing to undefeated Lee Scott. Glenwood, to me, looks like they have a really good team on paper that is poised for a state championship run yet again.
And one thing you notice, you just look at the football field tonight in pregame. They've got some size on that Glenwood sideline, and that sticks out to you right away. You got some guys like Thet Morris, who's at least 6'2", and a pretty good clip in the weight category as well. And so excited to see how they shake out, too. They lost to that Lee Scott team twice last year. So, that's obviously on their mind. a revenge tour of sorts, really, for both of these schools. And so I think they're both looking at tonight as a big tone setter for the year. Of course, Glenwood's already had that week one in the books in a big win last week, but both of these teams really looking at this game tonight as a springboard for things to come early in the year.
Yeah, this is a tone setter. Last year it was 25-23. Brookstone was the team that beat Glenwood on the road. So let's take you out to the field now and see what's going on as we prepare for kickoff between Brookstone and Glenwood. There is so much action right now as the teams get ready to enter the field. And there are the Brookstone Cougars. Brookstone Cougar Nation, it says. And if you were with us on WTVM News Leader Night at 6-5 Central, we talked with the Blue Crew, as you call them. You can see the students there that spell out Cougs on their chest. And Brookstone is waiting to come out, and we're also waiting for the coin toss. So the captains will meet at midfield right now. And there is a great look at the action as they go out here to get things started.
And captains for Glenwood tonight, number 1, Griff Gardner. Got number 9, Denton Denny. Number 2, Dallas Crow. And number 57, Will Johnson.
And on the Brookstone side, you can see the guys huddling around there. Chris Vickerson, he's a guy that we really expect to perform. Vickerson, number 8 there on the closest side of your screen. Holt Young, a very talented left tackle. He is number 60. Lane Cannon, a running back, a senior, number 23. And then big number 75, Ian McGarry. So let's see what the toss is here.
It looks like Glenwood has won the toss.
And let's see what their call is.
One toss and deferred to the second half. Brookstone will receive.
Glenwood has
wins the
deferred
toss.
to the second half. Brookstone will get the ball first. We're going to go to break. When we come back, the first ever state line showdown. Stay with us here on WTVM.
Hold on, Ben.
All right.
All right, William, to everybody, I have lost Crispin. I have no way of really telling when we're back to break or not. Got Aaron come up here. I can't connect.
Want to pull this stuff down?
Connection wasn't working, so this is my hotspot.
Can you tell them to stay off the booth cam? We don't need to be.
Hey, we got music blasting in our ears, and have had the whole time. Is there a way to kill that? Can you hear it?
Two schools separated by just 8 miles will meet tonight for the second time in school history. A thrilling game last season where Brookstone escaped the swamp of Glenwood with a 25. Two schools separated by just 8 miles will meet tonight for the second time in school history. A rematch following a thrilling game last season where Brookstone escaped the swamp of Glenwood with a 25-23 victory. Now the Gators will be looking for payback with a chance to start the season 2-0.
I said this last year, I'm not going to ever change. Our standard, and it's to win a ring.
For the Cougars, it's an opportunity to meet high expectations.
We want to be an elite football team, which means that we want to go out and give an elite effort every Friday night.
So strap in and watch closely as two of the area's best compete in the State Line Showdown.
Underway, Jakeith Tolbert with a strong return for Brookstone, taking it out past the 30-yard line. They'll officially mark him down at the 31. First and 10 for the Cougars. Thank you for being with us here on WTVM for this State Line Showdown within Stanfield. I'm Jonathan Hoppy. Here we go, Ben. Finally time for action. Brookstone taking the field, led by Brooks Roney for the first time this season here on offense.
And a nice return there by Jakeith Tolbert's got him in great field position to start this drive. And we're ready to play some ball. That intro got me fired up. I'm ready to see some football tonight.
Yeah, Roney with the handoff. A strong run by Lane Cannon up the middle. A strong pickup of 8 yards. It'll set up second and short. This is a Brookstone team that looks different this year on offense. Andrew Alford, the quarterback last year, he is no longer here. Instead, it is Brooks Roney. We talked about him a little bit off the top of the broadcast. He's a guy that has really worked to get here and now gets a chance to be the guy here in his senior season. Handoff once again to Cannon, barreling forward for the first down. Out toward midfield, 2 strong runs for Lane Cannon out of the Gates bin.
That's what they want to do all night tonight. If they don't have to throw the ball, I don't think they will. They'll look to run the ball just like that, and Lane Cannon with 2 stellar plays to start this drive off tonight, and he got a first down at midfield. This is a great start to this ball game for Brookstone.
And especially on offense, too. Cannon's a guy they want to get involved. And if you can run it in this kind of weather, you feel good about really tiring out that defense. So here's the give up the middle. This time the runner tripped up. That is Gray Jones. It's really a 1-2 punch in terms of running backs for Brookstone, Ben. Cannon is more of that power guy with the top-end speed. Gray Jones can do a little bit of everything, number 24 out there, whether he needs to catch it out of the backfield, come in on third down, or really spell Cannon after a long run.
One thing we talked about with the head coach, Rance Gillespie, this week, too, for Brookstone, is he said they like to operate with pace. One thing I'm noticing, though, here off the start of this game is they're not. They're slowing it down. You don't want to tire yourself out as well early going here.
Yeah, this is now a sweep on the right side and good action around the end. The offense keeps it rolling. That is Mercer Hudson, listed as a linebacker. That is a big gain, which moves Brookstone now pretty deep into Glenwood territory on this opening drive. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, the junior had end zone plans. They got derailed there just at the end of that play. But, yeah, playing a little offensive ball on this side of the ball tonight, and I think he was excited to get that touch there. It was a good touch, too.
So now they will go under center. Roney, the quarterback. First and 10 here in this first quarter opening drive, and for the first time tonight, Lane Cannon is stuffed up a little bit, but still a strong gain of around 3 yards, which sets up second down for the Cougars now inside the 30-yard line of Glenwood.
Yeah, props to that defensive front there for Glenwood. Number 55, Wes Graham. He's the nose guard on that side of the ball who it all centers around. They clogged up that under center play and said, no, sir, you're going to have to back up if you want to come through this direction.
Brookstone's guys can do a little bit of everything. That one on the outside, running free, Chris Vickerson. He's got the first down inside the red zone for the Cougars near that 10-yard line. This has been an impressive opening drive for this Cougar offense. Started just a moment ago back at their own 31, and they're now inside the 15-yard line of Glenwood, and they can still get a first down here without getting a touchdown. That yard line to gain the 3-yard line of the Gators.
playing in what's called 11 personnel. They got a tight end and a back, and then a slot receiver is going to move across here on the backside in motion as well on the inside.
Yeah, this give is going to Cannon on the left side. They've done a decent job of slowing him down. Strong defensive stop there by Glenwood. Denton Denny, the outside linebacker, was one of the first to Cannon. And that sets up second down, and we'll call it 8 for Brookstone, who now looks over to the sideline. Again, Roney, the quarterback, this is his first time as the guy coming into the season, and he's looked pretty sharp. He puts Jakeith Tolbert in motion, now goes to Tolbert. Tolbert has space, searching for the pylon. He reaches, and they'll mark him down short at the 3-yard line, but that is a Brookstone first down inside the 5.
I don't think you could have asked for a better opening drive so far, regardless of the result here, unless there's a disaster, I should say, inside the 3-yard line.
Right.
But
as long as they get points.
don't want to give them that broadcaster's jinx there. But Brooks Roney's been a fantastic field general so far in this contest tonight. Going to go under center again, too. This is very confusing for the defense as well, because they've been under center, they've been in the gun, they've run some spread stuff tonight. They've shown some I formation even once in this drive as well. And so pretty impressive start for a knowledgeable quarterback tonight so far.
And we've got a timeout called by Brookstone. You got to think, Ben, a big reason for that is going to be because they want to get points here on this opening drive. So you call the timeout, you take the team huddle, and Rance Gillespie in there talking right now exactly what they want to do. First down and 3 at the Gators' 3-yard line. They've got really 4 chances if they want it to punch this ball in, and based on what we've seen so far, pretty good chance that happens.
And these are different teams than last year, but last year's game was such a tight game. You're talking a 2-point victory for Brookstone that they got out of the swamp with last season, and so every point it matters a significant amount in this game, especially on this first drive. If you can set the tone with a touchdown to start this game, that's a really, really good start, and I think that coaching staff for Brookstone has got to be pleased with how this game has started.
Yeah, so let's see where they go here. Brookstone inside the 5-yard line. Brooks Roney under center, and he'll try to make something happen. Comes out with some motion. Lane Cannon, the running back behind him. Give to Cannon. Cannon goes forward. He's met at the goal line, and he's marked down inside the 1. A great defensive stand by Glenwood on that defensive line. You saw as soon as Cannon made contact there, he was pushed backward instead of being propelled forward.
Yeah, 55, Wes Graham, one of the big boys on that defensive line. Again, I mentioned his name twice now. He's a nose guard. Defensive end, Samaj Williams jumping in there, clogging things up as well. Another guy, Levi Pender, who coming up from the secondary into clogging that hole as well.
Give to Cannon. This time he is in. Opening score of the game goes to Brookstone, and Lane Cannon, the running back, was the star of that drive that ends with a touchdown.
Nice run by Cannon, who had a stellar drive to start this game, and just found his hole, punched it in from 1 yard out. They recovered from that previous play where they got stuffed, learned from it, were able to punch it in for 6.
Yeah, and Brookstone has to be really pleased about what they just did, driving the ball down from their own 31 and taking it into the end zone. So an exciting start if you're a Brookstone fan against a Glenwood team that played last week and beat Pacelli 38-12. And that's kind of the elephant in the room here, Ben. I think for Cougar fans, this is a chance to say, let's see if we can perform against Glenwood a little bit better than Pacelli did, and that might find some things out that could be important early or later in the season, I should say. The extra point is good, and that is going to make this a 7-0 game. Jimmy Hunter, the kicker there for Brookstone, coming in and making it happen. Ben, what are your big takeaways? That's a strong start for Brookstone against a Glenwood team that looked really impressive last week.
It's a very strong start, and one of the things, again, just the ability that they had to manufacture that drive. I'm a big fan of that. If you could go out and just field general yourself, down the field like they did under the leadership of quarterback Brooks Roney. And he knew his personnel on the field. That's his first drive as a starting quarterback, and you can't understate that. And so he was able to manage that. They got a great kickoff return to start things off, and they ran the ball very well, threw 2 passes, which I kind of thought they would pull back from early on in this game. But they were 2 great passes as well. Nothing long and flashy, but they were great and to the point, short passes, give the quarterback a lot of confidence, and he's going to only build from that drive in this game tonight.
So exciting of a start if you're a Brookstone fan. He's Ben Stanfield. I'm Jonathan Hoppy. Thanks for being with us here. It's the state line showdown between Brookstone and Glenwood. And right now the Cougar is getting ready to kick things off after scoring the opening points of the game. So we'll take you now down to the field as we get set for action. Jimmy Hunter, after kicking that extra point, is now going to come in and kick it off from his own 40-yard line. And back deep to return is Glenwood, and they will bring this out. Glenwood is smothered inside the 15-yard line. Mercer Hudson, who made a big play on that opening drive, is the one who made the stop here for Brookstone. And they're looking strong on all sides of the game so far. But now we'll get to check out this Brookstone defense, Ben, against a Glenwood offense led by Dallas Crow in his 3rd year with the team as the starting quarterback.
One of the things you got to do if you're Brookstone, playing against a guy like Dallas Crow, who is a runner. He can make things happen. If things fall apart, he's a guy who can bail on the pocket and make big plays. You got to play contained football with him. So look for Brookstone to bring a little pressure off the edges and try to wrap this up.
Yeah, Crow going back to pass on first down. He's chased by Vickerson, scrambles for positive yardage out toward the 25-yard line and close to a first down. So there is the ability of Dallas Crow, Ben, to not like what he sees, scramble, and turn a positive gain out of a play that looked like it could have been a loss.
Yeah, they went with that contained effort with number 8, Chris Vickerson, coming off the end, trying to bring some pressure there, but Dallas Crow does what Dallas Crow does. It gets away.
Right back to it now. This time the handoff goes up the middle to Carter Judah, and that looks like it will be enough for a first down. And they're going to move the chains here. Judah with the strong run, number 6 there.
And the clock's moving right along. This has been a pretty speedy first quarter. Glenwood also taking their time right now because, again, like we mentioned, pace is designed to, of course, make defenses tired, but it also can make your offense tired too. And when it's very hot like this, it's a good idea, if you can, to start things off a little bit slower than normal.
Dallas Crow puts Griff Garner in motion. That's a loose football, and Garner smartly jumps on top of it after Crow had pitched it back. Trickery there, almost bit the Gators here on this opening drive for them.
Yeah, and the way that's drawn up, that's a designed halfback pitch, and it just was not the best pitch from quarterback Dallas Crow out to the running back there. The ball hit the turf and, of course, lost almost 5 yards on that play as well.
Yeah, now looking at 2nd and 14. Crow, play action, looks downfield, pass caught for a first down and more. Camden White, he's still going. The flag is down, but White is streaking across the field inside the 10 and finally tackled inside the 5-yard line. A huge gain, Crow to White, and Glenwood is in striking distance.
Brookstone, the sponsor of our replay tonight, caught this great pass by Camden.
That penalty will be marked half the distance to the goal. The result of the play, first down.
Face mask on the Cougars, so it'll bring up 1st and goal for Glenwood.
And actually, beg your pardon, that's a personal foul face mask, so that will move Glenwood even closer now to potentially tying this game. Camden White, my goodness, what an opening play for him. And we should say, too, Ben, that was a beautifully delivered ball from Dallas Crow.
Yeah, he had pressure coming in from all sides in that pocket. Stood there cool as a cucumber, able to get off a great pass to Camden White for a huge gain.
Now we'll see if they can punch it in. Crow keeps it himself, going for the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. Dallas Crow and Glenwood with an answer in a big way. Our replay here shows that Crow was always keeping this one. And you can see the defenders coming off the edge, but that's not going to be fast enough to catch Dallas Crow for the touchdown. And now Glenwood going for the extra point.
Pretty action-packed first quarter of this ballgame tonight.
Griffin Montroy in for Glenwood. They'll swing the gate. And now the kick is up and good. We are tied at 7 now after that big gain by Camden White of Glenwood. And the interesting thing about that is Camden White is a guy that they moved from the defensive side of the football. They lost J.T. Banks. They lost Aaron Burton from last year, did Glenwood. Camden White gave them another playmaker, and boy, did it pay off on that drive. As soon as he took the football, lots of yards after contact there for him too.
Yeah, it was a great drive. Dallas Crow impressive in the pocket and as a runner on that drive to start things off. And it's pretty easy to see that he's a guy that's been playing this position for 3 years now. And his second year, like we mentioned, in this system. And just really a phenomenal start to our state line showdown tonight.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, you've missed 2 early touchdowns, one from both sides. Glenwood just responding to the opening drive score by Brookstone, and that's what has this game tied at 7. So really exciting action here at Mack Strong Stadium. And as we take you around this stadium, it's a great crowd here as well. We've got an aerial shot there, Sky Alert 9, always out here. And you can see this beautiful facility. This is now the second season that they're playing out here at what has been named Mack Strong Stadium. Mack Strong, a Brookstone legend, went on to play in the NFL and really has done so much for this school, and they've decided to name this facility after him. And we spoke with him last year about that honor, and wouldn't you love to have a facility like this named after you? This rivals that of many colleges across the area.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to Brookstone for hosting this state line showdown. They've been great to work with, and their team looks decent out on the field right now too. That's the question coming in. We knew what Glenwood would look like. We saw them last week, and they look great against Pacelli. Have not seen this Brookstone team, and now we'll see how they respond here on offense.
Yeah, they got off to a great start tonight. We've been highly entertained here in the Cougar Live press box tonight here at Brookstone. And again, what you mentioned is just an absolutely stunning facility, and much cooler now that the sun has gone down as well. So 8 o'clock hour is your friend in West Georgia tonight.
Head back deep to return this kick out of the end zone. You know, in high school, that's not an optional touchback. That is an automatic touchback. So that'll bring out Brookstone 1st and 10 as Brooks Roney comes out. And the offense starting to get situated here. You got to think, if you're a Cougar fan or a Cougar coach, pretty similar formula than what you had last time out.
Yeah, absolutely. They ran a lot of 11 personnel, which means they have one back and then one tight end, and that's what they're coming out in right now. So tight end is on the left-hand side, which would be the closest to you, number 8. There's a running back, number 8's in motion. That's the tight end. So 11 personnel. They like to change it up. Sometimes they run 12 personnel, one tight end and 2 backs. But they've got their young man, Brooks Roney, who knows this offense no matter the personnel on the field, and has had a good showing tonight.
That is Lane Cannon barreling forward, close to another first down. And what is a new quarterback's best friend? That is a strong running back like Cannon. And they will mark him just short of the first down. So it will be 2nd and about a yard now.
Anytime you got 2nd and 1, it opens up a lot of opportunities for you. A good play-action pass if you wanted to try a little trickeration here and throw it deep. It's a good opportunity for that. They've got 3 wide receivers out. And, again, going in 11 personnel.
Tie ball game early on here with Glenwood. This time another give. Cannon has more space down the right side. The yards after contact bring him out to the 40-yard line. And a gain of around 10 yards for Lane Cannon in this Brookstone offense. That'll move the chains once again.
And again, you got to be pleased with this start tonight. Both teams moving the ball very effectively. I'll be interested to see how the defenses adjust through the course of this game. We haven't seen a ton of pressure so far. Everybody's kind of just settling in at this point, but Glenwood looks like they're trying to come after this one.
Yeah, Brookstone showing early on that they want to run the ball and establish that run. And Gray Jones was on the carry that time. A loss of 1 as the Glenwood defense comes up big with that. Brookstone, on the offensive strategy, he says the roots of it all are still West Coast, but it's morphed into spread concepts, and that might be over the head of some football fans. Listen, stall a little bit here and face a tough 3rd and 11 situation.
Yeah, this is a tough spot here, 3rd and 11. We'll see what Roney's made of in this situation as well. He overthrew that last ball. It wasn't a bad ball. He just led his receiver a little too far on that last pass, but this is a big play right here.
3rd down and long for Brookstone. Pass over the middle. That is complete. Actually, no, he dropped it, and you got to credit some good coverage there on defense by Trent Gilliand. And that brings up 4th down and 11, so a punting situation for the first time tonight for Brookstone, and they're looking on the sidelines right now. And now here comes the punt team.
Yeah, I don't think you want to tempt fate on 4th and 11 on your own side of the field. So took him a second to pull the trigger there, though. But Chris Vickerson coming across the middle there, that's a receiver's really worst nightmare, is to catch a ball across the middle like that when you can't see what's coming at you. And he just didn't get a good grip on it and dropped that ball.
Sam Grubb is the punter, and it is fair caught at the 27-yard line. And that will be 1st and 10 for Glenwood. And we now have our first timeout of this game. 7-7. Glenwood and Brookstone tied here in this state-line showdown. Stay with us.
Looks like we're not going to actually take that break here. The official is going to keep play moving.
All right. Well, they are going to keep the action rolling, and here we are. 1st down and 10 for Dallas Crow. A flag comes flying as Crow gets out past the 30-yard line.
Okay.
10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
All right, you heard the man.
And we're back here, 1st down and 20. Glenwood backed up. So they will face 1st and long situation.
And Glenwood flagged for a hold on that last play there. They caught that one during the commercial break there. But, yeah, Glenwood going to try to get something established here deep in their own territory.
Dallas Crow liking that over the middle area of the field. That time Camden White could not hold on, but a flag does fly here late in the action. And they're going to call a personal foul, it appears, on Brookstone. So that is going to move Glenwood up out of this 2nd and long situation.
And what a miserable penalty there on Brookstone. It would look like that was called against Vickerson, who came off the field, I'm assuming. Not pointing a finger here, but it looked like because he came off the field that he may have been the one that grabbed that penalty. That's a 15-yard penalty. And is it not an automatic 1st down?
Not in the high school game.
No,
so
okay.
Now you're looking at 2nd and short, relatively, compared to 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, that was 2nd down in Phoenix City a moment ago, and now looking at 5-6 yard play, it certainly changes this whole dynamic for Glenwood tonight.
Crow awaits the snap, much more manageable situation for him. Hesitates, now goes out to his guy White. Camden White has it right at the sticks for a Glenwood 1st down.
Yeah, just a great play there. There was a little bit of pressure coming in the pocket, but Glenwood offensive line able to handle that. Got a nice pass out to Camden White for a first down. And you hate to circle plays this early in the game and say that was a big one, but that right there could be a big deciding factor in this ballgame tonight, that first down.
And here's potentially a big run from Carter Judah that is stopped as he went to the outside of the field. So that is a slight gain here for Glenwood as they approach midfield nearing the end of this first quarter. It's been a good back and forth game. Jonathan Hoppy, Ben Stanfield with you here at Max Strong Stadium. Brookstone and Glenwood in our state line showdown.
Yeah, it's a great honor to bring you this ball game tonight, and of course we're all excited to be working out here at Brookstone this evening to bring this game to you, and really excited about this new tradition.
Crow back over the middle again. Braden Gooden catches the pass, and that will be good enough to bring him to midfield and give the Gators another first down. So starting to pick up some offense here, Glenwood, and you can see they are targeting the inside, the middle of this Brookstone defense through the air.
Yeah, and they're doing it with veteran receivers. Of course, a nice grab there in traffic and able to push that to a first down on that last play.
Yeah, Crow keeps it himself, but he is tackled in the backfield. Excellent defense from Mercer Hudson of Brookstone. Hudson has been all over this field on both sides of the football early in this game.
I think the Brookstone faithful wanted a hold on that play, but no flags. They said it was a clean play, and we march on short gain and second down.
Second down and 10, empty backfield for Crow. Crow steps up, first down. Crow eyeing the 35, spinning, but he is then brought down to his feet. An excellent run by Crow is stopped by MJ Archibald out of the defensive backfield. You saw the pressure there coming off from the defensive ends. Crow stepped up and has another big gain. First down and 10, Glenwood at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, how about Dallas Crow trying to earn some more airtime on Sports Overtime tonight?
Oh, watch out. Ball's on the ground. Look at that. Carter Judah picks it up. And that turns what should have been a negative play into a 3-yard gain.
Smart play by Judah there. He saw the ball hit the turf, and he just grabbed it and ran. Wasn't trying to do any razzle-dazzle, just moved the ball in the right direction and got a nice gain out of it in the process.
Yeah, nothing can seem to stop this Glenwood offense. They've showed good determination as we end this first quarter. Crow back to pass, going deep. He's got a man wide open, caught by Camden White. White leaps for the end zone, and they will say he is short at the 4-yard line. White, another sensational play.
Let's check out the Brookstone replay cam here. Look at Dallas. Turns his body and gets the throw off. It wasn't the best throw, but it got to where it needed to be, and almost a touchdown pass on that drive.
Wow, the athleticism there by Crow to get the ball to White, and White has proven that he's one of the top playmakers on this field.
You got to be careful throwing that football like that, too, because that could turn into a touchback situation if that ball went through the end zone, not in his possession.
And now we're looking at what could be the final play of this first quarter. Another impressive drive by Glenwood. The first drive for them ended in a touchdown. How about this second drive? Crow fakes the give, keeps it himself, and he is tripped up, but reaches and scores! Dallas Crow will not be denied. Glenwood takes their first lead of the game.
Great play fake there. I think everybody on the field thought that was going to be a handoff. He pulls it back, that run-pass option, and is able to tuck it and run. Watch the drill there. They teach you that in practice.
Wow.
You practice not going down. Stick your hand down. Stay alive. That's what he did to get 6 points on the board for Glenwood.
Contact was made at the 5-yard line. Most would have gone down. Dallas Crow stays on his feet, reaches out and scores. And now the extra point from Griffin Montroy is good. We'll take a break. 14-7, Glenwood on top of Brookstone at the end of this first quarter. Stay with us. We'll be back.
We also want to thank the BPA families for a fantastic back-to-school bash. The BPA is an incredible team of willing and enthusiastic volunteers. Our parent association.
We've got to get this audio under control. We cannot, I mean, we're hearing nothing but static.
Volunteering with the
Is it a connection up here? I don't know. Sir? Okay. What you need me to do? Okay. There we go. Static's on. Ernest is going to reset the scoreboard, he said? All right, we're in break, so fire away.
Ernest up here is working through this scoreboard. He's got an extra point for Brookstone. He doesn't know how to go down.
I think he said it was on the second screen. All right, and then reset. Yeah, hit that one.
Vince, if you can hear me, please
top
don't take this shot in here unless
Okay.
you know that we're ready for it.
There you go. All right. Now. All right. All right. Boom. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Ernest, you good otherwise? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Where's that static coming from? Truck, can you hear us? We have just crazy. Yeah, that. What is that?
Please cut that off.
What changed? Is that James's microphone?
Hello?
Can anybody hear us at all?
Played on this. Huh? The music was playing on this. And welcome back here to the State Line Showdown. It is Brookstone and Glenwood. Glenwood has a 14-7 lead over Brookstone as we get set to start this second quarter. Jonathan Hoppy and Ben Stanfield with you. Ben, what'd you make of that first quarter?
Well, you got two Dallas Crow rushing touchdowns, and that's what we kind of thought we would see tonight so far in this ball game. He's been remarkable. Had some difficulties, but worked his way out of them. And Brooks Roney, for his first start of his career, has had a great start tonight as well. And, again, just both teams, I thought, played that first quarter about as good as you could hope for. Now everybody's settled in. We're kicking off the second quarter now after that touchdown, and hopefully keeping up the scoring action as well. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Glenwood has it now, or Glenwood kicks off rather to Brookstone, and the Cougars get it 1st and 10. And now we really get to find out, Ben, about this Cougar team trailing for the first time tonight. This is a new-look team. There's only 6 seniors on this squad, and that's something that head coach Rance Gillespie highlighted about this group. We'll see how the leadership is. Not that things are too tough right now, only down 1 touchdown, but you're always looking for a great response as Coach Rance Gillespie watches on. He's been a great addition to the coaches in this area. And here is another run. And Jakeith Tolbert off the toss there picks up a short gain of 1 yard.
That was a nice drawn-up play there. Brooks Roney took the snap and literally just hot potatoed it to the running back around the end there. It didn't gain much yardage at all. It looks like maybe even half a yard, but it was a well-executed play. I think a key for Brookstone here, at a minimum, obviously you want points, but you do want to burn some clock and keep this thing tight.
Yeah, now faking to give. Roney takes the hit. Pass over the middle is short of his intended receiver, Maxwell Jones, and some great pressure there by Glenwood.
Yeah, not a bad throw there to get that ball out of there. He did put a little bit of air underneath it that'll make your coaching staff uncomfortable, but Levi Pender coming in with that pressure for that Glenwood defense and really got a good hit on Roney tonight as well in that last play. They got some protection back there with Roney now.
3rd down and 9. We'll see if the running back stays in to help. He does. Throwing toward the sideline. That pass incomplete, intended for Maxwell Jones. And now it is a 3 and out for Brookstone, and a punting situation here at their own 21-yard line. Just like they did the first time. They'll look to the sidelines, think about it for a moment. But at the end of the day, you got to bring on the punting unit. And once again, Sam Grubb on for Brookstone to punt it away.
There's a little bit of strategy in that, too, holding your punter for just a second. At least get the defense to think about things. But he's punting out of the shadows of his own goalpost just about.
Gets the punt away, spiraling punt, and it is fair caught at the 45-yard line by Camden White, the big playmaker so far in this game for Glenwood. And if you're the Gators now, Ben, you've got a really good chance to take control of this game and establish a 2-possession lead.
I think if you can put any sort of points on the board, if you have a 10-point lead this early in this game, that's going to be quite the statement early going here. And it puts a lot of pressure, again, on this Brookstone offense to make things happen. And it came out on that last drive, 3 and out. I think that's not what anybody wanted to see from this blue sideline, the home sideline tonight. But pretty decent start. I'm still believing in that for both teams, and we'll see what Dallas Crow's made of on this drive.
Crow to Camden White. White has space again. He is brought down just shy of the line to gain around the 46-yard line of Brookstone. Boy, it seems like every time Camden White touches the football, something really good is happening for this Gator offense, who is once again in hurry-up mode.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. He was wide open in the flat, and that pass is really going to be there all night tonight.
And this time the give goes to Carter Judah, listed as the backup running back, and that is stopped. Great defense from Brookstone, and Jackson James, one of the standouts on this Brookstone defense at Mike linebacker.
Neither team has been able to run effectively up the middle. Both have had success keeping things outside in the flats and then trying to move it forward from that direction. So we'll see what Glenwood does here. I suspect they'll go back outside with it.
2nd down and long. Crow letting it fly, and that is hauled in by Camden White around the 30-yard line for a Glenwood 1st down.
Great catch there by White. Sliding, he's able to keep it up off the turf. That's a big 1st down, and this Glenwood team, boy, they look comfortable.
And White proving to be a great move and great addition to this Glenwood offense after playing mostly defense last season. They had more playmakers last season. They said they needed White, and here he is. And here is Carter Judah breaking tackles inside the 15-yard line and getting up. Looks like he may be hurt a little bit, but he goes back to the huddle. That is a tough player right there, Carter Judah, and that was a tough run for Glenwood.
And Judah, one of the shorter guys on the field, but he's driving those legs. He's dragging 2 guys with him down that sideline, and Glenwood is in business here.
Crow, 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. To give to Judah, who is stuffed after he crosses the line of scrimmage by who else but Mercer Hudson for this Brookstone defense.
Yeah, Mercer Hudson with a great play there to stop what potentially was a touchdown run.
That is still a tone-setting play by Carter Judah. You saw the tough run. He got back to the huddle, took the snap, and then was hit by Mercer Hudson. Now he goes to the sideline. Glenwood has it, 2nd down and 7 here in this 2nd quarter. Try to draw Brookstone offside. And a flag does come out. We'll see if it's on Brookstone or Glenwood, and they'll say it's a false start on the Gators. So that's what you risk, Ben, when you try to draw the other team offsides. You might hurt yourself.
Yeah,
2nd down.
You have to be a very disciplined
False start on the offense.
in that regard, and that crept up and bit the Gators there.
So now it goes to 2nd down and long. Brookstone trying to hold Glenwood out of the end zone.
But if we're talking about mistakes in this game, Glenwood hasn't made very many tonight. Not in the early going of this ball.
Really settled into this game. And Dallas Crow, a big reason for that. Coach Ryan Nelson saying, he's a senior, a 3-year starter. First time he's been able to put in a year 2 of work. Crow going end zone for Mason McCrane, and that is over his head. McCrane was a favorite target of Crow last week in the season opener against Pacelli. But more on Ryan Nelson on Crow. Says he's going to do a good job for us. Played well last week. A quick quarterback, able to make things happen. Really entertaining to watch. That adds up to what we've seen thus far. Okay, 3rd down and long for Glenwood inside the 20-yard line of Brookstone. Cougar fans on our side of the field making some serious noise for the first time tonight. And play clock now on the back of Glenwood. 5 seconds on the play clock. Dallas Crow has to get it off. He has it. Play fake. Looking over the middle, Camden White. It was deflected before it got there. Crow paid the price too, and it is 4th down.
It will be interesting to see what they do here. It looks like they're going to kick. It's going to be about a 34-yard field goal.
And we'll see what Griffin Montroy has as the kicker here for Glenwood. And it'll be around that 33, 34-yard range. Montroy squared away on this goalpost. This would make it a 2-possession game. Snap is good. Good hold. Montroy has good height on it. And the kick is good. Well, there you go, Ben. When you've got that ability, you send him out there to get you 3 points.
That was a good kick from probably 50 yards, to be honest with you. That's a great field goal. And great possession for Glenwood. It didn't end the way they wanted it to. They had an opportunity to score a touchdown, but couldn't punch the ball in. Got a nice field goal on the board. They lead this game by 10 now, which I think is pretty impressive.
All right, let's go down to the field with James Giles, who is standing by. James.
The student section here is loving that last drive by Brookstone. I'm here with some of the cheerleaders. Give me your name.
Hinton Rice, Trish Calhoun.
So guys, what has this week of school been like leading up to the game?
This week has been crazy. It's been go, go, go. But we have a great student section and we have a great Brookstone family that's here supporting the Cougs.
Yeah, everybody's up here going crazy. How you guys feeling? Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! We're so lucky! Cougar! Hey, you guys heard it here first. This student section's going crazy. We'll send it back up to you guys. Get back to the action.
Thank you, James. Always fun to see how the students show out. And you know the Brookstone fans are excited for this home opener. They've pulled out all the stops, a back-to-school bash, everything for this game against Glenwood from just across the river in Phoenix City. This is a natural rivalry between these two private schools, and playing for the state line showdown tonight. Montroy kicking off, and it looks like he will kick it into the end zone there for a touchback.
All right, we'll see how Brookstone responds now. Down 10 in this game. It's a pretty heavy pressure because, again, you don't want to let this thing get out of hand early going here in the second quarter.
So now this is a great opportunity for Brookstone to get back in this game. Like you said, you do not want to get things out of hand if you're Brookstone. You want to just take it drive by drive, and that's what these coaches preach, going week to week. Let's see what Roney and the offense have for Brookstone. 3 and out last time out on this end of the field. Roney, pass is deflected, might be intercepted. We'll wait for the call, picked off by Glenwood. Sudden change gives it back to the Gators. MJ Archibald with the interception off that deflected pass. Here's your replay.
And Brookstone had 3 wides to the short side of the field. Threw it in traffic, is deflected, and then that interception right there. Money play by the Glenwood defense, and they set their offense up to come back out on a little bit of a redemption tour, trying to punch in a touchdown here.
Off the hands of Swift Branch into the hands of the Glenwood defense. And MJ Archibald was in there, but also a couple other guys as well. Denton Denny.
Yeah, nothing doing on that play. The Glenwood offense trying to run that ball up the middle. That has been really the path of most resistance tonight in this ball game. Haven't had much success there. But, again, when they push the ball outside like they do, and that's what these quick teams like to do, is get out in the flats towards the almost think straight out from the quarterback's peripheral vision and then move the ball forward. They've had great success doing that.
Yeah, I beg your pardon on that. I was looking at the wrong sheet. That was Denton Denny there with the interception. Here is Dallas Crow. Goes to that side of the field, and some good defense by Brookstone, so they are holding strong. Nice play on the outside by Maxwell Jones to stop that where it was.
Yeah, great catch by Maxwell Jones there, and had some traffic coming, but he secured the ball. There's nothing to complain about there. That's a good 6-yard gain. He's looking at 3rd and 4 now. We'll see if Dallas Crow can convert.
Here it is, 3rd down, similar spot to that they were in a moment ago. Play clock creeping toward 10 seconds. Still time to talk with Ryan Nelson on the sidelines, head coach of Glenwood. 7 minutes remain here in this second quarter. Crow has time, steps up. He'll keep it, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. And another big 3rd down stop by Brookstone.
As number 50, Jackson James, middle linebacker there, came up in traffic, was able to make that stop. We do have a flag on the far side of the field.
Half the distance to the goal. The result, first down.
And a defensive hold.
And that is going to result in a first down. It's not an automatic first down, but that is half the distance, which means first down Glenwood. So another mistake for Brookstone after that tipped pass led to an interception. Now defensive holding sets up Glenwood inside the 10-yard line, first down and goal.
Yeah, earlier in the ballgame tonight, too, you had Glenwood panned very deep on a 2nd and 20 and also picked up a 15-yard penalty in the game as well. So that's really been the difference tonight.
Crow gives the handoff to Camden White. White sneaks through the defense for the touchdown. Camden White continues to make big plays, and Glenwood takes control of this game here in the first half.
Watch the handoff. White coming across the side of your screen there. Going to take that handoff through traffic. He finds his hole, and he will not be denied. Bounces off. That's the drill in practice every day. Dives into the end zone for a great touchdown. Glenwood is in control of the state line showdown on WTVM.
And if you look at this, think about the offensive plays here by Glenwood early in this game. They are not quitting on contact. This team is fighting through contact, and that's why after that extra point, they will take a 24-7 lead. So Glenwood in control right now against Brookstone. And we're going to go to a timeout. Come back with us. More State Line Showdown here from Max Strong Stadium.
What was the yardage on that touchdown, you think?
Welcome back to a great game day atmosphere here at the Brookstone School. You can see the stands are packed, the cheerleaders are out, students enjoying it, and a beautiful night for football. The Cougars, the home team, they've got some work to do tonight against the Gators from Glenwood. And there is our aerial shot here of such a gorgeous facility to play football, even when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. You're still happy to be here on a Friday night.
It feels much better now than it did earlier this afternoon. We've been out here for a little while now, and when the sun was up, this atmosphere was brutal. But once it tucked behind those trees, you saw that great-looking sunset there. Once the sun went behind the trees, we have been in business ever since.
And we should say, too, this is the first night of high school football in both Alabama and Georgia, full swing. The return here from Brookstone looked like that one went all the way back to the end zone, but they let him run it out, and that was Swift Branch. So first full night of high school football in Alabama and Georgia. Brookstone technically had an off week last week to begin the season, and now they're here in their first game, trailing Glenwood, who beat Pacelli 38-12 last week.
It was a convincing start to the season for Glenwood last Friday night, and it looks like they're keeping that pace here in week 2 for the Gators tonight. And then, of course, you'll have a ton of highlights tonight on Sports Leader Night, Sports Overtime, coming up at 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah, sports Overtime coming up with Tony Reese tonight. And I'll be here at Max Strong Stadium as we present the trophy and acknowledge the winner of the State Line Showdown. Brookstone certainly still in the mix here as we approach halftime.
Yeah, no time to panic. I think one thing that Brookstone has veered away from is the run game early in this contest. If they can establish that, there's still plenty of time left to play ball tonight.
And Roney pitches it out for Lane Cannon. Cannon puts his head down, picks up a few. It'll be third down and very manageable. They'll say third down and about 2 yards for Brookstone, and this is a team that really needs this first down, Ben, here to build some momentum moving forward.
Yeah, you had guys like Levi Pender just bust through and make a big play last time to keep Brookstone from converting a first down. They've done a nice job, Glenwood has, of playing rush defense tonight. Some of that West Coast offense we talked about, though, they're going to try and confuse them with a little bit of motion and convert here.
Roney to give up the middle to Cannon, and Cannon has the first down. That'll move the sticks for Brookstone, and sometimes when you have a quarterback that might not have the most experience, it's good to see those positive reinforcements, and that will be that as Cannon moves them forward. Don't forget, this is a team that looked really sharp on its opening drive when they scored a touchdown. Just haven't looked the same ever since. Roney has the snap. The give goes to Jakeith Tolbert, one of the best playmakers on this team. And Tolbert has a nice gain here to set up second down and around 4 yards.
Looks like we've got an injured player on the far side. It's going to be a Brookstone athlete. I can't quite catch the number yet, but great crowd on hand tonight, though, here at this ball game, and you see those fans out. It is still a little humid out here.
Yeah, it is steamy as they tend to the injured Brookstone player, our first injury of this game so far. And you can see the sun starting to set. A beautiful skyline just above the trees there.
And one thing you deal with in hot games like this early in the year is a tendency to cramp a little bit, and maybe that's what the issue is here.
And that is Jakeith Tolbert, who was the ball carrier on that play. Tolbert is one of their best wide receivers, and that would be a loss to not have him out there. And we'll keep an eye and see if he can get back in the game. You see Rance Gillespie, he is walking off with Tolbert as coach looks at his play chart to decide what his team will do now on second down and 4. And certainly wishing the best for that young man as he walks off the field and needs assistance to do so.
I think if you're Brookstone in this situation, try to settle in on that running game a little bit. It's been pretty consistent on this drive. And see if you can't continue to move the ball forward. Now, we mentioned earlier, Brooks Roney had a couple of great passes on that opening drive tonight. But I think that as the run goes, so does the offense.
And now a timeout called by Rance Gillespie. Did not like how that was drawn up. He knows that this is a big drive for his team, potentially the last time Brookstone could touch the ball before halftime. And they will get more time to talk things out and see where they want to go with it here. Certainly will have to make some adjustments if Jakeith Tolbert is not available to return to this ball game.
So in a situation like this, you're looking at 2nd and 4. If I'm Glenwood, I'm playing heavy pressure in the middle, trying to force them outside with the running game, and hopefully if you could knock them out of bounds or stifle that run game to prevent a first down, that would be a huge play for Glenwood here in this second quarter. You got 4 and some change left in the quarter to play here too.
Yep, and they will head back out to the field. So 2nd down and 4 for Brookstone. And another whistle comes. Okay, good. That's the one that says we're ready for football. Roney back to pass, picks up a block, throws it down the field just past his intended receiver. That is Chris Vickerson, who has a lot of height. He's a big target, but Roney has just been a little off early in this game, and those are some big plays that really end up being the difference maker in games like this.
Yeah, it's just an overthrown ball. And again, he, kind of thought maybe they would have been a little more comfortable running the ball in that situation, but tried for the home run ball. Let's see if they go back to the ground here. They got 2 wideouts to both sides, but some protection back there in the pocket too.
And another whistle comes down here. The flags start to fly. That is a false start against Brookstone.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that is absolutely what you did not
want to happen there. So a bit of a meltdown situation for Brookstone's offense right now.
Now they're looking at 3rd down and long. Let's see what they do. They need a big play. They need to get this crowd back into it, trailing 24-7. Roney is the quarterback. Looks to his right. A lot of pressure. Roney is brought down. The Brookstone defense, the Glenwood defense rather, gets to the quarterback. Samaj Williams had a good opening week, and he had a great play there. He picks up the sack for Glenwood.
Yeah, 44, Harlan Wilmoth. He's not a starter for this Glenwood defense, but another guy that was in there clogging up traffic, making a huge play for Glenwood's defense. Brookstone forced a punt, no thought about it this time. They're deep in their own territory, and that was a massive play by this Glenwood defense. We thought they might bring a lot of pressure there on that play, and on 3rd and long, after the penalty, they certainly did. Made Brookstone pay for it in a big way.
On to punt once again, Camden White to return the punt. Calls for a fair catch at the 43-yard line. That is his own 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for Glenwood. And now, Ben, the Gators have a good chance here to send a statement to this entire stadium and really to the entire AISA ahead of this halftime break if they can score another touchdown.
Yeah, certainly on a road game like this, if you can post a big blowout score and just, send a nice message, especially to some folks up the road in Auburn. Lee Scott, we talked about earlier, as a team that's been in Glenwood's way past couple of years, especially last year, got them twice. So that would be at least a message, not looking down the schedule, but you do want to send a message loud and clear that, hey, Glenwood is here and looking for different results this season.
And it's always a week-to-week thing for Coach Ryan Nelson. He always stresses that. Right now, it is a great defensive stop by Brookstone. Man, this guy has been everywhere. Mercer Hudson with another big play for this Brookstone defense.
Mercer's having a great night tonight, and watch him on the replay here. He's untouched through that line and makes the quarterback pay. Nice sack on what's been a really, really effective Glenwood offense in this ballgame.
That is what the Cougars needed here. 2nd down and forever for Dallas Crow. He's looking deep down the field. Crow hesitates. He'll keep it, but who else but Mercer Hudson to bring him down for another tackle for a loss. Looking like Luke Keekley out here for Brookstone.
Mercer Hudson's jockeying for player of the week right now. Been all over this football field tonight, and of course, this is an absolutely fantastic defensive drive for Brookstone. If you could get the ball back potentially one more time in this half without giving up any points, how huge would that be?
That clock does continue to run, and maybe that's something now that Glenwood is looking at to try to leave as little time as possible for Brookstone if they have to punt this away.
This might be a good idea, a good opportunity, I should say, for us to line up our clock with the scoreboard clock. We're off just a couple of seconds here. But 2:02 is the official time left in the quarter.
And we do have a timeout on the field right now. We're talking about here this state line showdown, and we'd like to welcome you into the booth here in a moment, as this is the state line showdown with Ben Stanfield. I'm Jonathan Hoppy. So much excitement in this game as we approach halftime. Good to see you tonight, and we are so glad to have high school football here on WTVM, Ben. But right now, this is a Glenwood team that's looking to send a message into halftime. They've been the better team so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And the difference in this ball game, and any coach would look at it on tape and say it's been a mistakes game. Brookstone has not played a bad football game, but the errors that they have made, and both teams have made errors tonight, and both teams will. That's an expected normal thing. Glenwood's been able to capitalize off of just about every Brookstone error in this ball game, and that's been a significant difference tonight.
Dallas Crow, can he get the first down? Here's a good shot. Camden White on the screen. White gets past one guy and steps out of bounds before he could get past the next guy, and that will stop the clock and set up 4th and 9 for the Glenwood Gators here, who will likely have to punt it away to Brookstone.
It's an interesting spot on the field. You're far enough away where maybe you could roll the dice if you wanted to hang on to the football. I think punting here, though, is the wise decision.
Yeah, you got to punt this ball away, put Brookstone deep in its own territory, and try to get to the locker room with this 24-7 lead. That would be a strong number for this Glenwood team on the road here at a packed-out Mack Strong Stadium. Will Woolbright on to punt it away for the Gators. 4th down and 9. We'll see if Brookstone comes after this one. Woolbright gets it away, and fair catch called for inside the 20-yard line by Brookstone. That is Zay Cunningham back there. So now we're looking at around 1 minute and 45 seconds for Brookstone here. And Ben, do you even try anything, or you just try to get to the locker room and regroup down by 3 scores?
I think my personal preference, I would try something that short pass out into the flats area of the field. See if you can gain maybe a first down, and then why not take a shot if you can get a little bit of yardage, maybe a buffer zone, if you will. You don't want to throw a bomb right in the shadows of your own end zone, but you're going to have to take some sort of deep shot on this drive. And
Whistle
that's not the start they wanted.
Before that snap.
False start
Offense. Against Brookstone.
5-yard penalty. First down.
And again, this game's not out of reach. 17 points, very manageable in a high school game.
And now that might change the strategy. We'll hear from head coach Rance Gillespie as he goes to the locker room right before halftime. Roney feeling the pressure again. Steps up, looks down the field. He is driven out of bounds by this Glenwood Gator defense and Denton Denny, who had the interception earlier in this half.
Yeah, and Brooks, all he could do was hang on to that football and just take care of it at that point. The pressure from Glenwood's defense has been immense on this Brookstone offensive line. They've had their hands full tonight with the big boys up front from Glenwood, and it all starts, like we said, there in the middle. Number 55, Wes Graham, he's that big nose guard. Samaj Williams on the end. You got Markel Robinson, number 47, who's been a big playmaker tonight as well.
And you're looking at 2nd down and 16. Roney gets it away quickly. That is caught over the middle by the big target, Chris Vickerson for Brookstone. That gains a few yards. 3rd down and 9. And we'll see if Glenwood wants to stop the clock here. And we do have a timeout on the field.
It'll be interesting to see what their play decision is here.
Call it an injury timeout, by the way. Chris Vickerson limps off the field, now receiving attention by the medical staff. Hopefully not too serious.
Yeah, he was able to jump up and at least get off the field under his own power there.
Roney stays with the passing game. You got to give Brookstone credit. They're going for it. And look at Lane Cannon. Cannon has the first down for the Cougars out to the 33-yard line. At 56 seconds left until halftime, they feel pretty good now that they've got something going.
And that's just intangibles taking care of themselves right there. Lane Cannon with a great catch. He pulls in a nice catch from Brooks Roney, but he's able to see where he's at on the field. He knew exactly how many yards he needed to get that first down, and he managed to make it happen. That's a big play for Brookstone's offense.
And Glenwood now calls
Glenwood,
timeout.
that's the second of the half. Glenwood, the second of the half.
So one more timeout remaining for Glenwood, probably just trying to regroup. And you can see all the fans that have settled into this beautiful facility. As we approach halftime, Brookstone showing some progress on offense, and now they have the chance to go for the end zone here. Maybe not just quite yet, but get in position to do so here in the next few plays and try to get some more points on the board.
Well, and there's a dual strategy at hand here by Glenwood calling these back-to-back timeouts. They obviously, number one, want the ball back. But number two, trying to keep Brookstone from establishing any sort of rhythm, because rhythm is what helps both of these teams thrive offensively. Any sort of rhythm they could set up and keep the ball moving, keep a steady pace going. The more this game slows down, I think the worse it is for each offense, and that's certainly been the case for Brookstone. But let's see what they've got here.
Roney thought about going deep. Instead, he'll check it down for a minimal gain. Maxwell Jones has the completion. The clock will run, though, as now Jones's helmet does come off.
Yeah, so he's going to have to come off the field for this play, but a great catch in traffic.
The clock
there.
did not stop, though, so he does have to come off the field, and now the clock firmly on the back of Brookstone here on this 2nd down and 5. Roney's got to do something quickly. Goes over the middle. The pass is caught by Bo Caves, the big tight end. That's a first down, and the clock stops.
And is Brookstone not going to call timeout? 6 seconds left, 7 seconds left in the half.
And let's see what the move is. Rance Gillespie is right next to the official. He's got it if he wants it.
He's going to spike.
And now a timeout called by Glenwood, and Ryan Nelson is upset on that Glenwood sideline. So a little bit of chaos here as we approach halftime. You're wondering if
Glenwood, the third and final timeout.
well, now that is a gift for this Brookstone offense. It looks like Glenwood was not organized defensively.
Well, and I wonder, Brookstone's sitting on 2 timeouts, didn't elect to use one. They were going to spike the football and I guess, hope for 1 or 2 seconds left in the half and maybe throw something deep here. We'll see what their game plan is. But I wouldn't expect anything too terribly flashy out of this, just maybe a deep shot downfield and see what you can get out of it.
And be sure to stay with us at halftime. As we said, we're going to hear from Rance Gillespie. We're going to take you inside the action here at Mack Strong Stadium. We're going to show you what's going on, and we're going to have an interview as well with the new head of school of Brookstone. So that is something you want to stay with us for. And, of course, Sports Overtime coming your way as scheduled tonight.
A little bit of drama here, though, to end this half. Let's see what we can get out of Brookstone. Maybe 1 play left, possibly 2.
Roney looking deep, comes to the sidelines. He'll keep it, and he still has time. He gets out of bounds, and he's hit. So that will be a personal foul to move them close, and there is still time on the clock. There is 1.3 seconds of official time here on the scoreboard, and then after this personal foul, Brookstone is going to be set up deep in the red zone.
So Brookstone, you can hear that coaching staff yelling field goal. First down. So they're going to get 15 yards.
Down.
Almost down to the 20-yard line, I think, is where this ball will sit once it's all said and done. Maybe a little further.
And again, there is still time on the clock. Our clock is not synced with the official clock here in-house. That lists 1.3 seconds. And so now a field goal chance. And, Ben, I got to tell you, if Brookstone is able to come away with points on this drive, that is very, very impressive heading into the locker room.
Oh, absolutely. Quite remarkable.
Jimmy Hunter on for a 35-yard field goal. Glenwood was offside. Flag comes out, and they'll blow it dead. I do not believe this could count.
On the play. Prior to the snap, encroachment.
And that is
Defense.
a bit of a tough break there because they could have let that go. And Brookstone would likely decline the penalty. Now, do you consider possibly going for it here on offense?
No, I would take the field goal. You got a great kicker there, and he just nailed that field goal, which was, 32, I think, in
That was 35.
35,
He drilled it.
Yeah, he was good from 50 on. And we got two great kickers on the field tonight, but he was good from a long way away. I would just line it up and do that again. And then looking at the way this first half has gone, Glenwood has made a couple of mistakes here late, but up until that point they have not. Brookstone's back in this ball game if this field goal goes through the uprights.
That is now a 29-yard kick for Hunter. The kick is up, and it is good. So it won't matter. That ends the first half. Stand by. We're going to have Rance Gillespie with James Giles in a moment. He won't be too pleased overall, but he's going to be pleased about that last possession. So, James Giles, let's go down to you with head coach Rance Gillespie of the Brookstone Cougars. James.
Guys, I'm here with head coach Rance Gillespie of the Brookstone Cougars. Coach, what was the takeaway from that first half?
We just made way too many mistakes. You know, we had the dumb penalty that kind of kept the drive alive, and had two busts in the secondary, which, you know, it's the first game of the season. We got to be able to do those things and eliminate some really crazy mistakes.
So is that what you're going to tell your team in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to play better.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. We'll send it back to you guys.
Message there from Rance Gillespie. We're going to take a break. Come back with us. We've got a lot of halftime programming planned for you here at the State Line Showdown. Got a 14-point game. Looking forward to the second half. We'll be back after this.
That's a good half.
We'll take it.
All things considered, yeah.
All right, let's bring him in here. All right.
Come on in.
How are you? Good to see you again. Jonathan, this
There you
is
go, we got you. Ben Stanfield, great to see you.
This is just you on this, right?
Yeah,
All right, perfect. You think he's good on this, or should he use this one?
I
You got that one. I'm going to step right over here.
And that's the proper spelling, right? Everything look good there? Say your last name for me. Heil? Okay, perfect. I know you can't hear me right now real well, but it'll kick in a moment. Let's slide back in this spot probably right here, I think is. And we're looking at this, and that's our camera right there. We won't be on camera probably for just a moment or so. A little bit, yeah. We've had
Toasty out there. How long you been?
Thank you, ladies. And now enjoy your halftime and enjoy the concession.
All right, friends, welcome back. We are with Henry Heil, who's the head of school here at Brookstone, and new to the area as well, too. So, first of all, welcome to Columbus.
Thanks so much.
And I just want to start off by thanking you for your hospitality tonight. We've had a lot of fun with this state line showdown tonight between Brookstone and Glenwood, two great schools here in the area. And Brookstone, nice place to call home. Tell us about your tenure here so far.
Yeah, well, it hadn't been long. So first of all, to the hospitality piece, I mean, our Parents Association and our communications team have been just sensational in preparing us for this evening, and I'm really glad they're taking good care of you all too.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't ask for a better setup here at Brookstone, and a phenomenal facility. If we just talk about Brookstone's facilities here for a moment, the one we're in right now, this football facility is not that old.
Not at all.
A newer investment for the school, and a really great one too.
Yeah. I mean, part of what brought me here was just how serious this community is about supporting this school. So my family and I, my wife and my 3 kids, we really wanted to be at a place where we could see ourselves really immersing ourselves in the community, and just what you see here, the support of the fans and the crowd and the community have just been it's just really heartwarming for me and my family.
Yeah, it's been a neat experience, and of course the Brookstone experience starts for kids really young, and they take them all the way up to college, right?
That's right. 3 years old to 12th grade, and we have kids who do the whole way through, the lifers, and they're very proud of that because they've put a lot into this, and their parents have put a lot into it, and it's worth celebrating.
Awesome academic standards here, on top of the athletic standards that we've seen tonight as well, and a little bit of a dicey finish there to that half. I was really impressed with the kicker for this team, able to make that kick twice. You've been around high school athletics a lot. Sometimes that gets in the kid's head. But you did a great job.
I wish we could have declined that penalty, but yeah, no, it's just, I mean, again, I'm just getting a feel for Rance and his coaching and our kids and the way they play, and I've just been really impressed. I mean, the way he's connected with them and what he can get out of them is pretty nothing short of incredible. And so I know we're not where we want to be right now in the game, but I really like the effort out there, and that's what I care most about.
Absolutely, you got a great experienced head coach in Coach Gillespie, and a guy that's done it at a lot of different levels as well. I want to ask you this, and we talk about this all the time over in this part of the South. Of course, Texas is now SEC country, and that's where you came
a weird
from.
thing to say, isn't it? Yeah.
So now that we consider Texas a part of the Southeast, tell me, which heat is worse? Is that Texas heat, or is this West Georgia heat?
People keep saying, aren't you glad not to be in Texas? But there's no humidity. Well, there's less humidity in Dallas, where we came from, than there is here. So the other day I was looking at the temperature here and the way it actually felt, and I looked at Dallas, and it was about 5 degrees warmer, but it actually felt exactly the same as here. So we may have just come out even in that, but we loved our time in Dallas. We have great friends and there, and we really miss them. But we're so excited to be a part of this community and just thrilled to be a part of the Brookstone family.
Well, and I think you'll love Columbus too. Columbus is a great city. It offers a lot of things, and a little bit of a smaller town vibe. Won't take you 2 hours to get across town.
Matter of fact, the place where we moved into, and I looked at a map, and if I was sort of imagining it like Dallas, I was like, boy, that's going to be a really long commute, and it's 6 minutes.
So there you go. The Chamber of Commerce taking note there. Of course, we want to recruit more folks from Dallas to come to Columbus as well. It's a pleasure to meet you tonight.
I really appreciate it.
And thank you so much for the hospitality. And again, we'd love to talk to you more throughout the school year as well about other great things happening here at
Thanks so much. Really glad y'all are here. Really glad to be part of this.
We're having a lot of fun tonight. This is the State Line Showdown on WTVM Sports Leader 9. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Boom. There we go. Awesome. Hey, great job.
Welcome back to the State Line Showdown, everybody, right here on WTVM. Thanks for being with us. It's halftime. The score, 24-10, Glenwood leading Brookstone. Now, we're here in the Cougar Live press box, and that's a tease for the story we have for you right now. This is an activity that is back for students after being gone for several years. And you see James Giles down on the field right now. James, how did the Cougar Live process get started for these Brookstone students?
Guys, the folks here at Brookstone say Cougar Live got its start from students just being interested in calling games, much like what we're doing here tonight. All it took was them seeing another school doing it in 2008, and they made it their own.
Yeah. Students can get involved with cameras, audio, broadcasting, just a whole bunch of things.
Brookstone's digital content creator, Bennett Counts, is heading up the roughly 15-year-old program this time around. On his side are gentle reminders from the past in the form of one of the minds behind the original group, Brookstone's Director of Student Counseling, Jacob Crowder.
So it started back in 2008 and 2009 when we were going to the state quarterfinals with our football team. We were competing against Athens Academy, who had a broadcast with a student and a faculty member, and we thought that was such an interesting way to deliver the game.
Crowder says the program bridges the gap between academics and athletics, bringing together students from all over the Brookstone family.
Our students learned to be commentators, they learned the ins and outs of working with video and audio equipment, and they learned what it meant to be a good reporter and how to translate those games for folks not able to attend.
Plus, they get to work side by side with local folks already in the business, like sports broadcaster Scott Miller.
He has served in so many different roles in the worlds of sports and broadcasting. He has that very familiar voice that we all love and know, and just to know that we have somebody with that level of experience with our students is just invaluable.
Right now, school leaders say once they start broadcasting, you can catch the streams on YouTube.
But I'm excited to get the kids involved and see how good of a production we can make it for our parents, grandparents, anybody that wants to tune in.
And guys, speaking of the students, senior Fuller Jones is joining me now. He's going to be one of the students participating in Cougar Live. So Fuller, you guys haven't actually done Cougar Live yet, but what are you looking forward to once you do start soon? What are you looking forward to most?
I'm just looking to bring some energy to the booth, get the fans hyped up, give some background on the players. I know a lot of them. I think it'd just be really entertaining for all the people that attend to watch. So, just bring some positive energy, do what I can.
Absolutely. It's fun, man. So what has been your favorite part so far in this process? I'm sure you've seen and done a lot so far.
So just picking it up. It's a really interesting thing I'm super interested in maybe one day, going into. I love sports. So I think it's really just picking it up, just seeing how pros do it and people I work around do it. It's a really awesome thing.
And so, if you could all just pick one thing, what are you looking forward to most from getting from this entire experience?
I'm looking forward to just growing in this. Overall takeaway, I don't know much coming in. I'm just really interested in sports. So hopefully I have something to take away from this, like a life lesson almost, and hopefully I can just progress off this and grow and build.
All right, so let's talk some football now. What's the takeaway from the game tonight? What does the team have to do to come back in the second half?
I think we need to stop them on defense. We got to get a couple of stops in. They've scored every time except once. It was that last time, so we've got some momentum going on defense. But give the ball to number 23, Lane Cannon, clear it out, let him go.
All right, you heard it here first. We're going to send it back to Jonathan Hoppy. Hey, Hoppy, you might have a next new hire here.
Hey, James, I love it. Ben Stanfield rejoining me now in the booth. I had the opportunity to do some high school streaming, if you will, of different sports back in Charlotte where I grew up. Certainly a great opportunity. So we love that the Cougar Live program here allows some students in Columbus to talk some football and other sports as well.
And get some good experience, too, because it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, to jump into the booth, and you got to keep it moving. Of course, live ball action, and sometimes the teams like to go fast on you, too.
Yeah.
It gets a little confusing.
Sometimes it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. Sometimes that's something you're battling. But, hey, it's 24-10. Glenwood is on top of Brookstone right now. We want to see if we can show you some of the plays from that first half. I mean, you start with Brookstone coming out of the gates. They're actually the team that scored first here, even though they trail right now 24-10. So you look at this opening touchdown by Brookstone. That is your quarterback, Roney. And they give to Lane Cannon. Cannon was strong early in this game and has been ever since.
Yeah, they ran that same play twice in a row down there on the 1 yard line, too. And Cannon stifled on the first one, but able to punch it through on the next down for that touchdown. And they took an early 7-0 lead in this game.
Yeah, then Glenwood came right back. Dallas Crow, the quarterback, he has proven that he can make plays. This is a QB draw all the way. And look at the contact there. For Crow to keep going, he is a gamer, and there are gamers all over this field. And moving forward, Glenwood, they really started to take control of this game in the second quarter. They are making plays, and that's why they lead at 24-10. Crow again here. Watch how much he does after the contact, Ben.
Yeah, he gets hit, manages to stay up, and that's his second rushing touchdown. That one was a huge play because the clock ran out on that play as well. Of course, the end of the first quarter there with Dallas Crow with 2 rushing touchdowns on the night.
Yeah, big-time stuff for Glenwood, 24-10. We're going to step aside, be back with more halftime from Max Strong Stadium. There it is right there in just a second. Hello, hello, hello. We have hard static in our ears. Hello. We have hard static in our ears. It's like...
There we go, okay. All right, it's gone now. I don't know what.
is it just us, or is it over the air?
Well, I wonder, is it a microphone? Like, is James' microphone?
It sounds like it's James...
Boy, it's rough.
Well, that's good, because if that was on the air, we would have been... It's probably been better than we think, because we've been hearing all this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Ask them, can they see the scoreboard lower third in the truck? Because I can't see it on the monitor.
You better turn this a little bit.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to wonder if this lower third here can be seen on the air. I've asked Aaron to come up here and make sure I got the scoreboard ready to go before we get back into the second half. Everything's accurate. Quarter, time, score. Everything's accurate. But the thing is that I can't see this there.
Yeah, this is some sort of hard interference. School moved here from Dallas.
Wow.
Barbecue is not really good.
You said you rate Georgia higher?
No, I rate first get the
Dallas, yeah.
You cut it to literally a plastic floor.
I knew that. Ernest McBride barbecue ring.
Yeah, these people, they do barbecue.
I need to go back out there.
Seriously, I had barbecue in Texas and Kansas City. One trip.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is spectacular both places. And either place puts sauce on the barbecue when you get it.
Welcome back to Max Strong Stadium, the State Line Showdown. Teams back out on the field, 24-10. Glenwood leading Brookstone. Ryan Nelson, a happy guy right now with a 14-point lead. But certainly plenty to prove as we enter this second half. This game is far from over. Teams back out on the field. We are getting ready for action. And once again, a programming note here on WTBM. Sports Overtime will air at its normal time tonight in the 11:10 Central News. Tony Reese solo anchoring that show, and we hope to check in with him live from Max Strong Field with the winning coach. We'll see how that plays out between Glenwood and Brookstone, getting those final warm-ups in as both teams get ready to go. Ben, right now it seems pretty clear Brookstone had a positive ending to that first half. They're hoping that carries over here into the second half.
Yeah, they certainly did. And we mentioned about halfway through the first half that a lot of Glenwood's success tonight had come from obviously being ready for the moment, but Brookstone was making a couple of mistakes. And you heard Coach Gillespie mention that on their way into the locker room. They made a couple of significant mistakes. They had Glenwood backed up on one of the early drives in this ball game on a 2nd and 20 situation, picked up a 15-yard penalty that, of course, set Glenwood up to convert, later score a touchdown in that drive as well. So one thing Glenwood did do was make a mistake at the end of that half, and it set Brookstone up to get a field goal on the board.
And let's find out more with the Glenwood coach, Ryan Nelson, in his second season. He is standing by now with James Giles. James.
Ryan Nelson, coach, what was the takeaway from that first half?
Yeah, a solid half for our guys. Bonehead penalty right here, right for a half. So something we got to clean up right there for sure. Little things, but after the first drive, defense we played very solid. So solid half, but we got 24 minutes of football left for sure.
And what'd you tell your team at halftime?
Just keep doing what we're doing, and this weather's it's in play tonight, and it's hot on both sides. So we got to really withstand this heat the second half, and come out and just play our brand of football.
All right, hey, thank you so much, coach.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you in the booth.
Right now leading the Cougars 24-10. Gators on top of the Cougars. They've added 2 minutes on the clock as teams get warmed up and ready to go. This is Ryan Nelson, Ben. This is a guy that came over to Glenwood, has a coaching history in the area. His father, a longtime coach at Central, so now he's at the private school over in the Phoenix City area. And he said it last year before the season began. They talk state championships. That is the goal over there. They came up short against Lee Scott. That's a game I was at last year, Crampton Bowl. Felt like they had a chance, but Lee Scott was undefeated for a reason. Now the bar this year, no different than last year. Championship, I won't say bust because you can never fully say that, but it's been clear at Glenwood that championship is the expectation. They just won't talk about it week to week. You got to go 1-0, as they say.
And it is certainly really, no matter the football you're watching, whether you're in Phoenix City or in Auburn, whether that be the public high school or the private high schools, this has been quite the time to be alive in Russell County and in Lee County. And, of course, Lee Scott, like you mentioned, has been such a great presence in AISA football, and Glenwood trying to get over that hump and knock them off the top of the block, and this could potentially be the season to do that. But, yeah, you're right. A lot of teams shy away from talking about trophies, championships, and whatnot. But Glenwood not doing that, of course, just grabbing the bull by the horns and saying, listen, state championship is the bar here, and this is what we want this program to be. And so we're working hard to make that happen. And really off to a great start this season. They got an experienced football team. A lot of guys back from last year that went to that state championship game, and obviously going to try for a different result this time around.
That was a rough game against a Lee Scott team that was undefeated for a reason. So now we go back to this season, and Glenwood can really make some noise in terms of being the private school in the area. They've already beaten Pacelli. If they beat Brookstone, that's two of the top teams in the GIAA. They won't play Calvary Christian and some other schools on the Georgia side. But, man, this has been a tough slate to start the season for Glenwood. Keep this in mind, too. They went 0-2 against Pacelli and Brookstone last season. This year, they're hoping to go 2-0. That is a big difference right out of the gate.
Yeah, certainly so. And able to flip the games that you lost last year is a big deal. And the team went 8-4 on the year. So they played 12 ball games last year. We talked about they lost 2 to Lee Scott.
Pacelli, Brookstone, Lee Scott.
Yeah.
Only teams that Glenwood could not beat.
Absolutely. And it turned into 4 losses last year because they caught Lee Scott twice in that season. And so about to potentially a half away from being 2-2, or 2-0, I should say, in flip games this season. So a good start so far tonight for Glenwood. A little bit of a rough patch, like we mentioned, to end the first half, but nothing to panic about. A 14-point lead is nice. Not nice enough for Coach Nelson, though. They're going to try to obviously add on to that, and they will receive to start this third quarter tonight as well.
All right, we'll see what's in store as we are talking about the second half of this State Line Showdown. Thank you so much for joining us on WTVM. It has been a privilege to bring you this game so far tonight, and we are looking forward to bringing you the game moving forward here in this second half. Remember, at the beginning, Glenwood deferred to the second half, so now they get the ball first and a chance to get back on the scoreboard after Brookstone kicked that 29-yard field goal before halftime. Jimmy Hunter back out to kick, and we are underway in this second half here at Mack Strong Stadium. This is a returnable kick, and here comes Glenwood taking it out across the 25-yard line, approaching the 30-yard line. Dallas Crow now back to work, Ben.
I think if you're Glenwood, you try to establish the run in this second half, and that's something they had a great time with in the first half as well. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Dallas Crow handles this. You want to burn, obviously, as much clock as possible in a second half like this. You got 2 touchdown leads, so quick drives are your friend if they result in touchdowns, but maybe not necessarily otherwise.
This game is going to turn one way here in this second half. Will Brookstone come back and make it a close competitive game, or will Glenwood pull away to begin this second half? Gators have the ball. The give to Camden White, the big playmaker from the first half, with a strong start to this second half and a gain of 5 yards to kick things off.
Yeah, that's exactly the start you want there. Run the ball, gain 5 yards, sit on the clock just a second, and keep a nice steady pace on the offensive side of the ball.
And Crow fakes the give, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. The Brookstone defense gets the sack. That is Bo Caves at defensive end. Also plays tight end for the Cougars. And Caves brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Glenwood offense. A big 3rd down coming up here.
Yeah, caving in on Dallas Crow there and really just shutting things down. The middle has not been available for either team tonight offensively, and of course was not on that play for the Gators as well.
So now it is 3rd down and 7. Crow looking at his teammates. He'll be back in the shotgun in a passing situation. Rolling out, sidearm throw, caught for a 1st down and more. Striking across the field, it's Braden Gooden. Gooden angling toward the sideline, and he is brought down near the 10-yard line. There is a flag, but it does appear this play will hold up, or will it?
Illegal block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Result of the play, 1st down.
So it is still a 1st down, but not nearly as large of a gain as we thought. Still very much a net positive.
There's some shades of Pat Mahomes there on that passing attempt, though. He just stood in the pocket, able to just kind of sidearm fling it, like you mentioned. It was very impressive. Yeah, all the young quarterbacks are watching him these days, too.
Right.
So.
And Dallas Crow did make that look pretty easy for 3rd down and long. Crow now gives the handoff toward the right side. Carter Judah. Another strong gain for Glenwood, so that really was a turning situation. Anytime you get those 3rd down and longs, what can you do? Nearly was a touchdown. The flag brought it back, but still, they've got this team moving.
Yeah, I think that's been a big difference tonight. Dallas Crow's handled 3rd down and long very well in this ballgame.
And now Judah is going to be just short of the 1st down.
Yeah, Carter Judah with a nice run there through traffic, not directly up the middle. That was more of a B-gap type run, but a big gainer as well. Sets him up 3rd and short. This Glenwood offense is in business. They're in field goal range right now as well, so this is already setting up to be a points drive for them to start this second half.
So it is third down once again. They came up big the last time it was third down. This is a much more manageable 3rd down and 3. Again, Glenwood looking to really establish themselves here in this third quarter. Crow, quarterback keeper. Crow picks up a block. Stiff arm. One man to beat. Another move by Crow. He's still going before he is possibly brought down. And he is short of the goal line, but a flag flies. Crow looked like he was playing Xbox as he approached the goal line.
Watch him pump the brakes right here. Oh, my goodness. Sees him in the peripherals, pumps the brakes, and he may have scored a touchdown there. He got a nice push from behind toward the end zone. His helmet came flying off, too. There's a penalty flag on the field. This is going to be a pretty hefty penalty, I think, on this.
After the play, personal foul, defense. Half the distance to the goal, result, first down.
So that is a personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal results in a first down.
And that's, I mean, it's a big penalty. It's not necessarily a killer in that position.
Turns out not to really cost you at all. Still don't love the discipline of it if you're Brookstone. But either way, it is first down and very short for Dallas Crow, who will likely keep this himself to charge toward the end zone. He will, and he is in for the touchdown. Dallas Crow remains unstoppable tonight for Glenwood, and they expand their lead here in this third quarter.
And again, we talked about this guy trying to emulate some things you see on Sundays from folks like Pat Mahomes, and of course takes the snap. He's patient. He's a great runner. He's also a great thrower too. He's just a really solid quarterback. A lot of fun to watch. He makes a lot of things happen that aren't necessarily there in this ball game, and he's been pretty masterful tonight with it.
Griffin Montroy in for the extra point. And this would make it a big lead for Glenwood. Already is, but you can tack on one more. 31-10. And it now is a 21-point lead for the Gators. And they continue to take over this game. They pick up here in the second half, right where they left off in the first half, man. This has been an impressive showing for Dallas Crow and the Glenwood offense. Every possession tonight seemingly right on the money.
There's still a lot of time for this Brookstone offense to get this thing back in the right direction for the home sideline. You're down 21 with about 21 minutes worth of ball playing time left in this game as well. And so obviously what you want to do is establish some sort of rhythm on offense, get it going. Doesn't matter how long this first drive takes. What your goal is success. And, of course, the clock not going to be a factor on this one. But if Brookstone can come down the field, and, again, a touchdown is ideal, but any sort of points in this situation would be good, would be certainly a big help. But, yeah, Brookstone got to get something moving on this drive here because anything past 21 I think is going to be unmanageable.
Yeah, at this point it looks like Glenwood is – frankly overpowering Brookstone in terms of the offense. And it's been a problem for the Cougars to slow down the Gators. And if that doesn't change, it's going to be tough for them to overcome this rather large deficit as we continue to move forward here in this second half. And an automatic touchback brings Brookstone and the offense back out on the field.
So it'll be interesting to see how this team responds. And even that starts with the play calling in this situation as well. And just kind of see if things can settle down for Brookstone. Don't worry about what's on the scoreboard. Worry about getting 6 on this drive and see if they can respond to what's been a pretty prolific attack from Glenwood tonight and quarterback Dallas Crow. Boy, he's been unbelievable.
And we should note, too, Ben, that Jakeith Tolbert is back out on the field for this Brookstone offense. He left the field in the first half. He is back. That is a big weapon for the Cougars. Not a lot going on here, but some tenacious effort by Lane Cannon to at least get a yard or two on this play. And that brings up second down for Brookstone. The big problem for them, the ability to make deep plays, to really get down the field. The explosive plays, Ben, have been lacking tonight on the end of Brookstone.
Yeah, they certainly have, and that's a big difference maker. You got to have at least one or two to stay in ball games, and
Here's a screen pass to Maxwell Jones. Here's an explosive play. Jones down the sideline. Look at that speed before he is flung out of bounds inside the Glenwood 25. Biggest play of the night for the Cougars.
And there we go. Ask and you shall receive.
You got
it. Explosive play there by Brookstone, and Maxwell Jones able to just make a huge gain for this Brookstone offense. That may be the jolt that they needed right there. Something to work for this offense. It's been slow going the last couple of drives. Had some, like we mentioned, mistakes. Hadn't been able to accomplish a lot on the field offensively, but that could be a tone setter right there.
Back out on the field. Here is a handoff. And Lane Cannon fights forward. So now this Brookstone offense fighting to pick up some momentum. And that's what a big play like the one we just saw from Maxwell Jones will do for you here in this third quarter.
I don't want to say I would abandon everything up the middle, but I would abandon everything up the middle. It has not been the route of success. And again, for either team tonight, both defensive lines, starting with their nose guards, playing very well in this ball game.
And a credit to Rance Gillespie for the play calling just a moment ago to get that screen pass. And once again, the Glenwood line of scrimmage proving to be too strong. Wes Graham, the nose tackle in there, all over that run. So now a third down and short for Brookstone.
I like the screen pass in this situation again. And then maybe roll the dice if it doesn't work on fourth down.
That screen worked really well, and that's always the thought process. Hey, we haven't done that all night. We just did it. Let's do it again. They don't need nearly as many yards here inside the red zone. And Rance Gillespie calls a timeout for Brookstone. He did not like how that formation was stacking up. And an important third down and 2. You know that Jimmy Hunter can kick it from here, but that's not what this team is going for at this point. They need touchdowns. Not time to panic just yet, but we're in the second half almost now of this third quarter, and you're starting to think about the end of this game and being down by 21 points.
Yeah, if you come up empty on this drive, it is time to panic. But as it stands right now, 3rd and 2, you're inside the 20-yard line. This should be a manageable opportunity to get a touchdown on the board. Now, I'm certain they have some razzle-dazzle plays in the playbook. Maybe not some stuff they want to show tonight for, of course, calling plays throughout a whole season. You don't want that on film this early in the year, but you may have to go to something deep in the books here to get points on the board and try to get this win tonight.
Could also be 4-down territory, Ben, for Brookstone. Let's see where they go here. Brooks Roney under center. He pitches it out. Gray Jones. Jones making some moves. He has the first down, and the flag flies as Jones is taken down inside the 10-yard line, and the Cougars are knocking on the door.
I think about the only thing that can be is a face mask.
Defense. Penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal.
And that'll bring
first down.
Brookstone first down.
And this is the state line showdown. There's a lot at stake here. Brookstone hoping to make this a game here in this second half. Here on WTVM, Jonathan Hoppy, Ben Stanfield. High school football and your local ABC affiliate tonight. Thanks for being with us. First down and goal for the Cougars. They give to Cannon. Cannon with the second effort. And he is brought down around the 1-yard line. And Brookstone in great shape right now. You got to think they might give it to Cannon yet again.
That certainly seems like the play. He's had a good night running the ball tonight. See if they can punch in this touchdown here. 31-17 if a touchdown is scored and an extra point, of course, with it. And this is very much a ball game if that happens. Let's see right here.
Brooks Roney, they give to Cannon. Cannon looks like he stopped short. A great angle down the goal line there for you. And you can see the hard-working officiating crew saying he is yet again short. Now you're looking at 3rd down and 1. And this is the score you need so badly. A good look there at Brooks Roney, the first-year starter for Brookstone, flanked by a couple of his receivers.
They needed half a yard on that play, and that's how stiff the middle of the field has been tonight. They couldn't get it. It's been that way all night long, running the ball up the middle. Let's see if they go outside this time to try and get this touchdown.
We'll call it 3rd and inches. Roney, the pitch, the run, into the end zone for the touchdown. It is Gray Jones for Brookstone. And the Cougars have life here in the second half.
Yeah, watch the replay here, the old toss sweep. That's your favorite play on NCAA football on the old Xbox.
And look at the blocking there. Well done from Brookstone across the board. A name that continues to come up tonight for these Brookstone Cougars. You can't say enough about the work of Mercer Hudson. He laid a big block there on the outside to open things up for Gray Jones. And now if Jimmy Hunter can make this extra point, it is a 14-point ball game.
Quite the turn of events, too.
And the kick is up, and it is good. All right, 31-17. Brookstone hanging around here at this state line showdown. And Glenwood will get the ball back here in this third quarter.
I feel like one of the things that we've learned from this past drive about Brookstone's offense is they're going to have to operate in a little bit of space. And what I mean by that is they got to get the ball outside. The middle is simply just not there. And like I mentioned earlier, I just simply wouldn't go up the middle anymore. I wouldn't waste my time or my down to go up the middle like they did. What they needed, a half a yard to score a touchdown, and it just absolutely was not there on that play just a moment ago.
And you know what points means? That means push-ups. And
I wondered what the board was for.
Right. I saw them bring that out earlier, too. We'll count those push-ups. Certainly glad it's not me doing them down there in this heat. And now we've reached a point in the game, Ben, where this is a crucial moment. Everything's crucial at this point. But now Brookstone has to have more confidence knowing that it maybe has its offensive rhythm back, and maybe this defense can ride that energy and come out and get a stop and get the ball back into the hands of the offense.
Yeah, you got to think halftime adjustments paying off so far for Brookstone's offense. And one of the things we talked about, too, was explosive plays. They had not had an explosive play tonight. They got one on that last drive, and it helped them put 7 points on the board.
And a strong kick by Jimmy Hunter will bring it out to the Glenwood 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Dallas Crow will come back. And actually, they will mark him at the 20-yard line.
And if you're Glenwood on this drive right here, go with the mojo you know, and that is Dallas Crow. How many times can we rhyme in a row?
As many times as he'll make big plays with the football, and that's been a lot tonight.
Yeah, certainly so. And they're going to be looking for more leadership from him tonight. Looks like they're going to set up with a back there for protection in the backfield. We've got 4 wide receivers. Let's see if they take a shot in the air here to start this drive.
Dallas Crow has not been shy tonight, and neither has his best weapon so far in this game, Camden White, pushing the pile forward before they call it dead. A solid gain on 1st down for Glenwood.
Yeah, going to set them up 2nd and short, and a nice sweep play there from the left side and through some traffic, and he just driving those legs was able to get to that 2nd and short situation.
2nd down at about 2. The give up the middle, that will go for a 1st down. Carter Judah, who has had some nice runs for this Glenwood offense as well. Talked about the 2 running back tandem of Camden White and Carter Judah, how they complement one another. And that has been a winning combination so far in this game for the Glenwood Gators.
Yeah, not necessarily a 1 or a 2 guy out of that bunch, but it's more of a split duty. Both of them are kings of the backfield.
And guess what? Sometimes Dallas Crow is the number 1. Spinning for the 1st down. Dallas Crow. Man, he can do it all out to midfield for Glenwood and the 1st down.
And the thing about what he's doing on that football field, too, with shoulder pads on and a helmet, it's a little difficult to orient yourself after you spin like that. He's done a remarkable job. His talent, you can't say enough good things about what this kid's able to do with the football. Real explosive player.
He brings the intangibles, too, that senior leadership. Judah, escaping tacklers. I've been so impressed at Glenwood and their skill players the ability to make guys miss and to keep moving after the contact. And I think you got to credit Ryan Nelson and the coaching staff for that, instilling that aggression and relentlessness in their guys.
Well, you know, that type of yardage is not earned in August and September. It's earned in January, February, March, in the weight room, gaining that strength. And you can tell that Glenwood's got a pretty good strength program. These guys are real tough, ready to play some football tonight. They look like they're in really good shape, too.
And you can tell this was a designed run for Dallas Crow. Crow has the first down. He might have the edge. Spinning around guys. Crow has a blocker. Crow back upfield. Dallas Crow looks end zone, and he's there for the touchdown.
52 yards, an explosive run by the quarterback there. Patient, he watches his blockers, and that turns into 6 points and may have just blown this thing open for Glenwood.
The Brookstone replay cam shows Dallas Crow. My goodness, that is the second time tonight you've seen him in the defensive backfield, matched up against the big guys that he can just juke around.
Yeah, his ability to stop on a dime, mixed with his vision of the football field, mixed with his patience as a quarterback who waits on things to develop in front of him. He waited for his blockers to get in place, cut the ball inside, and made a huge play.
The biggest story of the night, Dallas Crow for Glenwood. Remember the name. The senior has his team thinking state line showdown trophy at this point. And hey, there it is. That's what they're playing for tonight. The game that has a trophy attached to it is the one right here at Max Strong Stadium, and it looks like Glenwood is eyeing that down at the moment. Wow, that from midfield, Dallas Crow has been the guy tonight.
Yeah, and that trophy you just saw there, the State Line Showdown hardware, of course, got one for our MVP tonight as well, and this is a great new tradition, we'll call it, the inaugural State Line Showdown here on WTVM. Something we're really excited about, of course, the source for high school football highlights in the Chattahoochee Valley. You guys do a remarkable job every Friday night. I settle in with my popcorn and my ice-cold sweet tea at 11 o'clock. That's the night I get to stay up late, you know. I'm on that morning show grind Monday through Friday.
That sounds a lot better than what we go through on a Friday night. And I'm actually excited to catch some of the show live. Since I've been here, I haven't ever seen a sports overtime that I haven't been a part of.
Yeah.
And I will be a part of it tonight, just not in that main capacity. But Tony Reese and the guys and ladies back at the station certainly have it handled. Looking forward to seeing some other scores from around the area. We can dive into that, too, as this game goes on. Glenwood in control. Jakeith Tolbert is tripped up inside the 20-yard line. And at this point here in the third quarter, it is Glenwood in control, 38-17.
Yeah, great kick coverage there by Glenwood on that drive, too. You mentioned Tony Reese, a guy that's in year 2 now on the Sports Overtime squad.
Just barely, yeah. His year mark was, I think, last week.
So we're expecting big things out of what we look at now as a veteran in the studio.
No doubt. Yeah, we are so happy that he's back here, back home, and able to help bring all these great highlights and stories.
An old Smith Station Panther, by the way.
Smith Station Panther. Can't wait to see how they did tonight against Pleasant Grove, how they're doing right now. So many games across the area pushed back due to heat, mainly in Alabama. And you mentioned Auburn earlier. Auburn High leading Hoover 13-7.
That's a big time.
That is a big
game
start, at least right now, for Coach Keith Etheridge. If they could go on the road and win a game like that against Hoover, it's always tough.
Is that game in Hoover tonight?
That is up in Hoover. And that Thompson-Opelika game, another big Alabama 7A showdown. Brookstone has it, second down, and that looks like a first down for the Cougars. Their offense continues to click. Mercer Hudson making another big play. Thompson 3, Opelika 0 in the second quarter. So Opelika hanging around with Thompson.
I looked at Opelika's schedule about a month ago. They may have the hardest schedule in all of Alabama high school football. this season. I mean, that's really tough. You talk about playing out of region against Thompson, who was state champion, of course, however many years in a row now. They've got a really great program there.
Yeah, we'll have all those scores for you. Brookstone still hanging around here against Glenwood. They might run out of time, but don't tell them that right now. The first down after the strong run by this Brookstone offense, and Gray Jones moving the ball forward.
Well, what you're seeing right now, Brookstone find a little bit of rhythm, mixed with the fact that Glenwood's defense, it's late in the game. These guys are obviously getting a little tired. This heat takes a lot out of you through the night. So there is opportunity here.
A little bit of a high snap controlled by Roney, the quarterback, before he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and that is a big sack. Thet Morris, one of the guys, the safety in there. His season is off to a great start. One of the leaders on this Glenwood defense.
Look how tall he is, too. Thet Morris, number 13 back here at the curve side of the B. He's one of the tallest guys on the field. He's got great size, really good athlete. So anytime he's making a play in the backfield, look how far up he's coming, 10 yards away to make that play.
Here's a sweep. Jakeith Tolbert. That was a strong run. Tolbert brought down at midfield. 3rd down and 4 upcoming for Brookstone. But it won't happen until we reach the end of this quarter. 2 seconds left in the quarter, and now the quarter does come to an end. So you see the teams heading out. We're going to take a break. State Line Showdown, the 4th quarter of this State Line Showdown, is coming your way next. Stay with us here at Brookstone School.
All right, home stretch. Reaching out. Oh. Ernest, you got water back here. You want some? Oh, man. Who was that? Mm, 60 seconds.
Welcome back to Brookstone. It is 3rd down and 4 for the Cougars. Big play coming up here. Brooks Roney back to pass off the fingertips of Jakeith Tolbert. And now it is 4th down at midfield. At this point in the game, Ben Stanfield, you got to think the Cougars will go for it.
Roll the dice, razzle dazzle. Let's go. What's your 4th and 4 play here? Brookstone trying to convert, get into scoring territory. Need a touchdown, obviously, at this juncture in the game. Down 21. That last pass, a designed quick pass, but it just sailed over the receiver's hands.
Yeah, Roney having trouble finding his targets here. That's the big tight end, Chris Vickerson, over the middle. And now that is a turnover on downs. It gives it back to Glenwood. And for the first time in this game, Ben, you're looking at a situation here where the Gators might want to take their time and start working on this clock.
Certainly so, yeah.
This 4th quarter.
Keep that ball on the ground, put some mileage on the old cleats, if you know what I'm saying, and keep the clock running. If Glenwood can put 6 on the board here, you got to think it's a done deal.
Gators have been prolific on offense. It feels like we've said Dallas Crow's name about 1,000 times, and if you added it up, we might have actually said it 1,000 times so far in this broadcast. He has been that good. Crow has also had some help from teammates like Carter Judah. And Judah is still on his feet here, and the flag is out around the 42-yard line. We'll check the penalty, but as it stands right now, a big gain for Carter Judah.
Holding offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
So that is coming back. A Glenwood team that has had so much success has, like any team, done some things that Coach Ryan Nelson will want to correct going into next week.
They hypothetically could score 2 more touchdowns this game and score 50 points, and I still think there's plenty on tape for him to go back and say, look, we got a lot to fix here on this particular situation. Obviously, that was a hold in traffic there. But there were some situations toward the end of the first half. It hasn't been a perfect night for Glenwood, but it's been pretty good night for the Gators so far.
Yeah, the Gators have been strong, and Coach Ryan Nelson, he's a pro's pro. He knows what he's looking for in terms of his football team from week to week, and a timeout called on the field by Glenwood. So now they really want to sharpen things up here and start putting the finishing touches on what could be a great win here in the 2nd week of high school football. Ben.
Yeah, I want to also, you mentioned Coach Nelson, commend him for just a moment, and Coach Gillespie. Both of these guys value their time. Of course, football coaches live by the minute, and took a little bit of extra prep time this week to help us prep for this game tonight and get ready for the State Line Showdown, our new WTVM tradition, and really just hat tip to both of these guys for helping us to get ready to call a great game tonight. We've really had a great time here at Brookstone this evening.
Yeah, and props to the school, too, for being a great host. They clearly have a great facility and kind enough to open the doors for us and start things off the right way. And let's say, too, that Brookstone's team has looked solid. It's been clear to me, Ben, that Glenwood's the team that's already played this season, and Brookstone just needs to work some things out on defense as Crow once again goes up the middle for a nice game.
Well, and another thing, too, that you've noticed in this game, too, is Glenwood's got some depth. There's some guys that are a little bit down the depth chart that we've seen make some pretty good plays tonight on the field, and an experienced football team. And the number I heard this week was 69 guys that they're dressing out. And it's not, Glenwood's not the biggest school in the area, of course, a little bit smaller.
Those are good numbers for private school.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
That's a big, experienced team, and you got just a great athletic quarterback, and that's going to pay a lot of dividends for you in high school football. Depth and a really good quarterback can go a long way.
And still adding on here, or at least trying to, and Carter Judah dragging defenders out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, watch him shuffle those feet there through the traffic, earning that 1st down here in the 4th quarter. That's that off-season conditioning we talked about again as well. This team looks as comfortable as they could be in the 4th quarter on a hot August night. early in the season, ready to play some ball. Glenwood looks to be a very talented football team.
And the Heat, a story across the Chattahoochee Valley for football games, really across the entire country, mainly the Southeast. Ryan Nelson told us coming in that Heat would be a factor tonight, and based on how his team has looked, they were prepared for it. Crow, the give to Judah once again. He's been a workhorse here in this second half. Picks up a short gain on first down to bring up second down. And Heat has not been a problem for this Glenwood team. Really impressed by both sides. Have not seen a lot of stoppages due to what would appear to be cramps.
Couple injuries here and there, but nothing major tonight. That's been good news. And really, once the sun went down, it's settled in to be a pretty nice evening. But you just have to survive that first quarter and those warm-ups that really could take a lot out of you. You've been trying to hydrate for this game and sweat it all out really before it even begins. But kids are having a great time out here tonight. A lot of fans out here. It's been a good atmosphere tonight.
And another run for Glenwood, as we suspected. They're starting to work this clock a little bit. And be sure to stay tuned for the tail end of this broadcast. We will have the trophy presentation for the first ever State Line Showdown. That's something we're excited about, to talk trophy and talk potential winners here of this State Line Showdown between Glenwood and Brookstone coming up at the end of this game. James Giles will have that celebration for you. We'll go right to the winning huddle at the end of our broadcast tonight.
And I hope they enjoy that trophy, too. It's a pretty cool setup that we've got for the winner of the State Line Showdown tonight. So there you go, Glenwood camping out on the clock, and that officially has begun.
It sure has. Dallas Crow with the handoff here. Some good movement and taken down from behind after the strong run by Camden White. Camden White was the star of the first half, and Carter Judah has carried the load in the second half, and that is the sign of a very healthy running back room.
Yeah, this, like we mentioned, you can't say enough about how comfortable Glenwood is.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay the down.
So you get the time that you burned off there, but obviously the penalty comes in, and it is a hold, so that negates that last run. But the clock portion of that is gone, though, at least. So there's a silver lining for Glenwood.
And another look at some of the kids hanging out here. So much more than football, as you know, on these Friday nights. And
what do you think they're talking about down there?
I don't know. What's for lunch next week?
I doubt it.
What'd you think? What'd you think about the ham and cheese we had in the cafeteria?
It was mid.
Mom packed my lunch.
Yeah.
I didn't have that one. But
yeah, I'm doing a lot of that myself these days. So.
Third down, and we've got a timeout. Ryan Nelson fired up on that Glenwood sideline as he does call the timeout. And while it might seem like we're getting late in this game and things are already decided, that's not the case for these coaches. They want every rep here. They know it's valuable, and they want to take advantage. But talking high school football in the area, we do believe that Glenwood has a chance to be one of the best teams in the league, in the area, private school or not. This is a strong-looking team right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. They've played very, I want to say, disciplined football. You judge a team oftentimes by big plays they make and, of course, what they put on the scoreboard. But when you're actually at the game or getting the chance to see an entire game tonight like you have, you've seen that Glenwood's a very disciplined football team, and they've played very, very
And that'll bode well as we get deeper and deeper into the season. We've touched on it before, but last year, Glenwood lost to Pacelli in the season opener. They lost to Brookstone in their home opener week 2. You flip those games this year in terms of home against Pacelli, you win that, and on the road against Brookstone, you're in a good position here winding down in this fourth quarter. Shotgun snap. Crow fakes the handoff, and now he keeps it on third down, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. We've got fourth down coming up. MJ Archibald among one of the guys in for the Cougars on the stop.
I'd expect Glenwood to go for it on fourth down here. It's fourth and, 8 or so? if you convert
kind
it,
of in
great.
no man's land. You
Yeah.
could be able to coffin corner punt it, potentially to bury Brookstone a little bit further, and it does look like they will send out the punting unit.
Now, you do have the opportunity to pin Brookstone very deep if you can get a good punt off here.
This is Will Woolbright, the punter. And we'll see what he can do in terms of field position. It's a low punt, again, toward the corner, and it hangs up at the 1. It is rolled down inside the 1. Heck of a job for Will Woolbright in this Glenwood punt unit. Brookstone has it inside their own 1. That is brutal. But if you're a Glenwood fan, you're loving it right now.
Wow. I mean, that may be the punt of the year right here.
Going to hang up, and an awesome job here by the special teams unit. And it looked like that might have been Camden White, number 3, a star for this Glenwood team. How about that?
Yeah.
The hustle on special teams.
All over the field.
When the game might be decided.
I'm not so sure that ball would have gone in even if he didn't touch it. It had the right spin on it to sit right where it was. And now Brookstone's got to go 99 yards to put points on the board.
So now the complete team effort continues. Brookstone backed up. Roney going deep. He's got a man. Maxwell Jones with the one-handed grab.
Maxwell Jones reaching out on the dive makes one of the best catches that you're going to see all year long in local high school football. I love this play call, throwing the ball deep from your own end zone from the 1-yard line.
Look at the extension and the concentration. Do not let that highlight get buried late in this game. Tip of the cap to Maxwell Jones and Roney as well for having the guts to throw that ball on the 1-yard line. Great play call by Rance Gillespie.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times like that, you can catch a secondary off guard. Teams try to bring a little bit of pressure when you're in your own end zone like that. I've seen, you remember the remarkable Iron Bowl in 2013, kick 6. One thing a lot of people don't have at the top of their mind is that Alabama threw a 99-yard touchdown pass from their own end zone on a play just like that. So it's a fantastic play call. And Coach Gillespie says he emulates a lot of what Nick Saban does on the football fields.
And why wouldn't you? Jakeith Tolbert gets the pass from Roney. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. As it stands right now, it would be a first down for Brookstone.
And the Brookstone guys are walking in the wrong
Illegal block
direction.
in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
So Brookstone will be backed up. A pretty good clip here.
Yeah, that is going to negate a big gain for the Cougars, who at this point, Ben, have likely run out of time, down 38-17, approaching 5 minutes to go in this game, and it looks like Glenwood will win the first ever state line showdown, but another flag does fly. Here's the call.
Offense. More than 11 players on the field. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that's one of those that the coaches hate, but you can expect to see some of that stuff early in the season as these personnel groups get used to substituting on the fly.
Well, and you hate to see that, too, because you had, a 41-yard pass out of your own end zone a moment ago, and you've almost gone into meltdown mode. 2 penalties back-to-back, moving in the wrong direction.
Roney was heading left and decides to go up the middle. He was not taken down, but met by a mob of Gators to stop his progress.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that's coming up in the film room next week. No doubt about it.
And win or loss, that is the positive for Brookstone. They now have some tape to look at. This is not a region game. This is an out-of-state, out-of-region. The result here, while it matters in what you're trying to build, it does not matter in terms of how your season ends.
Yeah, all of their goals are still in front of them. Of course, after the first game, regardless of the outcome, it's pretty much a given. But
and not giving up on this game just yet. look at the execution. Swift Branch still going, and that too, Ben, is what you love to see late in the game. These guys are giving it their all still at this point.
Yeah, watch Swift there after that reception, and that's a guy
I love it.
Talked about that's getting an opportunity this year to step up and play at the varsity level and really doing a great job.
And people have different thoughts on that, but to me, you work your tail off like that and you get a big play.
Yeah.
I don't care what the score is. You get up and you point, because those kind of moments are hard to come by in the game of football.
Absolutely. He's worked a long time to get to where he's at tonight.
Yeah, Roney going back over the middle, and that is once again Swift Branch. Under 4 minutes to play here. And let's see if the Cougars can punch it in. Still plenty to play for in terms of momentum to the next week. And an offense surely would prefer to score 24 points over 17, and just makes you feel a little bit better about yourself as the season moves forward. Roney, this time Vickerson. Look at Vickerson. Just outside of the 10-yard line, Chris Vickerson, a talented young man, a big target at tight end. There are some weapons on this Brookstone team, and they have goals to win the state championship. They have goals to beat arch rival St. Anne Pacelli. And right now, they look, you can see the potential here. I do think, Ben, you're going to need some time for Brooks Roney to really get settled in at quarterback. Once that happens, this team will be really dangerous.
Well, and he's grown in this game a lot tonight, too.
On the money, and that is incomplete, but a great effort for Jakeith Tolbert. And he took a spill there, ended up on this blue track, and we'll see if he's able to stay in the game.
Softer than it looks, but still not a great feeling to come down hard on that track like that. But that was a great throw and catch, just out of bounds.
And back out to the action. Tolbert still on the field. 2nd down and 10. Cougars can get a first down without scoring. Roney pressured, scrambles, and he goes down. And it's funny to watch that because you saw the contact there after he had gone down. In the NFL, the way they call the quarterbacks, you could have been looking at a unsportsmanlike conduct, a personal foul. But
if that was Tom Brady, I mean,
right, go ahead and back him up.
Thrown out of the football game.
But still, I think any football fan would agree that was not a dangerous play at all.
Where are my Atlanta Falcons fans at? I remember that very vividly from last year.
Yeah. A moment that changes a lot of games. And look at this. Jakeith Tolbert might have bounced off a helmet. And Tolbert is running for the end zone. Roney is putting these balls in pretty decent spots. But he's running out of time here. 4th down and forever. It's basically end zone or bust right now for this Brookstone offensive unit.
Yeah, and why not take a shot here? Field goal's not going to do anything for you in this game. See if you can get a pressure situation where you can score a touchdown. Roll the dice.
Here's another one. Here's your shot, Maxwell Jones. Unreal defense to save the touchdown. Thet Morris with another big play for Glenwood. Without him, that is a Brookstone touchdown. And Morris shaking up a bit in the end zone. Here's your look at our Brookstone replay camera.
Yeah, Morris gets all the credit on that play, but let's talk about Brooks Roney making a remarkable throw. Watch him poised. He puts it right where it needs to be. And that's just great defense.
I'll tell you what, Brooks Roney has gotten better and better as this game has gone on. And this game is winding down right now. We'll take a timeout. 2:04 officially left in the game, 38-17. Glenwood on top of Brookstone. Stay with us. Much more to come here
number
from Matt
13,
Stadium.
Thet Morris, up and at him.
Oh. What's that score? Okay. Are they out west tonight? Haven't started.
Welcome back. Final minutes of this state line showdown. Shouldn't take long as Glenwood will likely run it out. Carter Judah goes up the middle. And you got to be impressed by what Glenwood has done to open this season. Beat Pacelli 38-12 last week. Now comes to Pacelli's arch rival Brookstone and has a 38-17 lead with not much time remaining in this game. Up next for Glenwood, they will go to FDA, that is Fort Dale Academy out of Greenville, Alabama. And then they will play Bessemer Academy before coming home to play Lee Scott. That is that big game, September 15th, Lee Scott and Glenwood. So a big 3-week stretch here of AISA play for Glenwood coming up. They got to be ready.
You talk about Fort Dale as Glenwood pushes the ball again and going to sit on this clock. Maybe 2 more plays left here. Fort Dale's not an easy road game to go and face this squad down there. A lot of dirt roads and some hard football at Fort Dale.
And if you're wondering on the Brookstone side, they will play home again next week. They will play First Presbyterian Day, so they are thrown right into it. That is a strong program out of Macon. And then Mount Zion, that is their first road game on September 15th. The big one versus St. Anne Pacelli, that is a road game this year, Friday, October 6th. I know that's a game that so many Brookstone fans and, frankly, these players, they'll tell you, they got it circled on their calendar every year, that big Brookstone Pacelli game. And we've got a timeout on the field. Once again, be sure to stay tuned. James Giles will have more with the winning side, the Glenwood Gators, coming up following a final commercial break at the end of this game. With Ben Stanfield, I'm Jonathan Hoppy. And Ben, we just want to take a moment and say thanks to our great crew, so many men and women behind the scenes putting on this state line showdown. And you got to start at the top with Aaron Lee and Walter Brosagini and the rest of the crew. What everyone has done, Vince Perry, William McLean, Jesse Garcia, so many names right now working out in the field to bring this football to us.
Yeah, I got Ernest McBride here in the booth with us, and just a ton of folks behind the scenes making this happen tonight, and a lot of hard work went into this. It's a tradition that we are looking forward to for many years to come here on WTVM.
And the first state line showdown goes to Glenwood, 38-17. The Gators beat the Cougars, and they are 2-0 to start this new season. A lot to cheer about tonight, and the teams come out to midfield right now to show the sportsmanship. There is a lot to come with us. We will break down the game a little bit further, and we'll hear from the Glenwood Gators after an impressive win here at Max Strong Stadium. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Okay. That is an MVP trophy, right?
Just the team.
Oh,
yeah.
There was 2 trophies, though.
One's for us to keep and one's for them to have.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. All right.
Nice job, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll
man.
look. I think all the static and music was probably got a little disorienting at the beginning, but I think it probably looked a little bit better than it maybe felt.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I hope we can do a lot more of these.
Yeah, just a lot of work.
a ton of work.
Yeah, you got. I mean, I can't think these. I'm going to stay and break down as much as I can. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to hang out.
That's
too.
the tearing down is even tougher. I think they're ready for us. Going right down to him.
He's pumped up. All right. Yeah. That looks good from here, this shot.
Yeah, I think his audio.
Now, WTVM News Leader 9, Sports Overtime, State Line Showdown, post-game special. Sponsored by Glenwood School. Once a Gator, always a Gator. Here's Jonathan Hoppy.
And such an exciting finish to this game. Glenwood beats Brookstone 38-17, and we're getting ready to hear from head coach Ryan Nelson and the Gators. And you can see down there that this is an excited bunch. Ben, when you look at the smiling faces, you know this means something to them.
Yeah, it certainly does, and that's of course a really cool way to start early off in the season with a game like this. You got a little hardware you can put up on the shelf, and of course that's a motivator for any football coach. They'll see that trophy all season long, and they'll say that doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, it's a new week now. There's no trophies this week. Let's get moving.
Right, it's celebration today, and it's fuel tomorrow. And it's funny how that works.
Uh-huh.
You can see the community. This is also, too, what's so cool about football, when the families, when everyone comes around at the end of something like this that has taken so much time.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these guys put in a lot of work, and of course we're waiting to hear from James Giles as he's going to talk with them. But they're getting couple of more things set up here between the trophies presentation.
And make sure it's just right.
Yeah, absolutely. So Glenwood tonight, you could tell you guys were fired up about it after the game. Ryan Nelson came up in that huddle, and he started jumping around, and guys got real pumped up. And it's a big win. That is a big win early in the season. That's 2 of them now for Glenwood to start this young season off, and they are looking pretty good headed towards the Labor Day weekend mark.
Yeah, when you talk private school football in the Columbus, Phoenix City area, Glenwood has a great case right now to be the best team in the area.
Yeah.
You beat Pacelli 38-12. You beat Brookstone 38-17. And let's show you some touchdowns and some top moments from this second half while we wait on James Giles down at field level with Ryan Nelson, just getting a few things worked out. And Glenwood really just kept it rolling. And now we think James is ready. James Giles, let's go down to you with more, James.
There you go, baby. Guys, I'm here with the Glenwood Gators, the champions of the inaugural State Line Showdown. Congratulations, Coach Ryan Nelson, player Dallas Crow. How you guys feeling? Feel great. Just a big victory for our guys, and we've been challenging them all week. We didn't really worry about the heat, and it was hot out here, but I'm very pleased how our guys responded tonight and played in the heat. You came in, you got it done, so what's next? You guys are 2-0 now going into region play, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Is this some good momentum for you? Yeah, for sure. We challenge our guys because these are 2 state championship caliber games for us, and so really challenge them this week because we want to think about we won the first week of the semifinals. We had to come out here in a state championship type game on the road, and just happy the way our guys played. But the real season starts next week, and we start region play. So feel good to be 2-0, but we'll get back in the building on Sunday and we'll get back to work. And Dallas Crow, you're seeing, right, young man?
Yes, sir.
Heck of a game. You know, what's the preparation like? What's your mentality coming off of this game?
Just playing 2 tough matches right off the bat. I mean, it sets up the team to go down the road, and we find ourselves and we just click together. And it's not about the arrival or the destination. It's about the journey for this team. And we're just looking forward to each and every single moment, and we want to cherish it and don't want to take it for granted, and we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, congratulations. I want to present to you the inaugural State Line Showdown Trophy. This is yours, and we'll have another one where you guys' names will go down in the history books and presented at WTVM. So congratulations to you and the Glenwood Gators.
Yes,
That is the party over here. You can see they're lit going into week 3 for them, so we'll send it back to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, James Giles, thank you so much, and a fired-up Glenwood football team down there taking that first State Line Showdown trophy, and again, a great pleasure to bring this game to you tonight.
Yeah, so exciting. Congratulations to Coach Ryan Nelson, Tim Fanning, the athletic director over there, and, of course, Dallas Crow and all the guys.
Yeah, where do they sell his jersey at? Because I want one.
Yeah, I think you and a lot of other people watching tonight very impressed by Dallas Crow. Hey, before we get out of here, Ben Stanfield and myself, we are so thankful for the rest of our entire crew, but all of us at WTVM and a part of this State Line Showdown, the first ever State Line Showdown, want to give a special thanks to Brookstone School Communication Director Connie Manser, the Cougar Live staff, Justin Fentress and Bennett Counts, Mr. Y.N. Myers and the Columbus Football Officials Association, Mr. Mike Huey, who was our red cap, very important in helping stop the action tonight, and all of our staff and crew. But most importantly, we thank you for watching. Ben, what do you say we do this again sometime?
I couldn't agree more. It's been a fantastic night, and congratulations to Glenwood on a big win.
38-17, the final. Glenwood beats Brookstone to claim the first ever State Line Showdown. Once again, thanks to our entire crew. Thank you, the fans, for watching. Don't forget, Sports Overtime with Tony Reese coming up at 11:10 Central tonight. But here at Max Strong Stadium, 38-17, Glenwood beats Brookstone. Have a great weekend, everybody.